target point.
All right, so we're going to get started here in just a second.
Totally ruined it.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, I am going to mute. There we go. All right, and 7 o'clock. All right.
There's an advertisement.
Yes, of course there is. All right. So we've got everybody here. We have all seven people here together.
This
So
is muted. And
you're going to have to mute your...
I've muted. That's interesting.
You don't get to mute ads. They're ads.
Okay.
You can mute your... He needs to mute the...
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I just realized.
There you go. All right, now we're good. Slight technical difficulty. All right, so we're playing Star Wars tonight. We are going to be streaming our finale game as we're going to be kicking off our D&D campaign next week. The exciting thing about this game is that when we started this a couple months ago, I had a crazy idea, and I told everybody, I said, hey, how about a Star Wars game that's right after Return of the Jedi, and it's from the Imperial viewpoint. And we all said, oh, it'll be great. So we kind of had this like platoon, Full Metal Jacket feel of what we wanted to do, and that was kind of see a squad of stormtroopers that would come together through boot camp, through training. We had a whole like drill sergeant game as we kind of learned the system together, because a lot of people here were playing Star Wars for the first time. And it was a way for us to kind of explore our characters, and the game started on the planet of Rythal. So when we went to Rythal, we got to have a lot of fun and hijinks as we were going through, earning our nicknames and things as we went through boot camp. Of course, in Star Wars fashion, things happened on Rythal. There were some rebel operatives there that were trying to free some prisoners from the Battle of Hoth. And found out that their drill sergeant ended up being a rebel operative. They were able to capture the drill sergeant, and that was kind of how the game started. So the game started slightly before the Battle of Endor on Return of the Jedi. Once they graduated Rythal, we then saw our squad, 3-8 as they were called, get stationed on the Endurance, which is a Gazanti-class cruiser, which we have the model for. And everyone in the squad was really disappointed about being on the Endurance, because the Endurance was not, it wasn't a glorious post. It was a post that was looked down upon because it was more of a support role. The squad scored extremely well in training and in boot camp, but for some reason they were held back, and they were forced to be on the Endurance, which a lot of the other recruits called the Dog Walker. Because it was delivering AT-ATs, and it was like, great, that's what we get to do. We get to deliver other people to the front line while we do nothing. So that was a fun thing, and we finally figured out that the reason that they had been held back is that two of our characters, the first character we're going to talk about is going to be Lance, who's playing Cade, and his brother Kyle, who's also playing Dak. So we have Cade and Dak, the brothers that were together in boot camp on Squad 3-8, that their mother, a very overprotective mother, also has a lot of pull in the Empire and wanted to keep them safe. Come to find out, through their backstory, we learned that she was a great fighter pilot. We didn't realize what her record was, but she was an Imperial ace. And at that point, she was basically training other pilots. And she was semi-retired, but was still involved in the Imperial Navy. So she was able to basically pull rank and keep her boys away from the front lines. So that was kind of how they ended up on the Endurance. The next game we got to play was on Endor, their first deployment. They got to deliver as the Dog Walker. They delivered the AT-AT to Endor. There they were actually on the ground when it all happened. And the Death Star blows up. And if any fans here from Battlefront 2, it was kind of the inspiration for that game. But knowing me, I had to have something a little bit more extra fun to involve on Endor. So as they're trapped on Endor and they're looking for a way off the planet, they stumble across a cave system. They go through the cave system and find this giant living in there, this Gorax, and they defeat the Gorax, and which everyone laughed about. And they found this old shuttle that had been hidden there. And yes, for anyone watching, I did pull in the canon, or I guess not canon, the legends of the Caravan of Courage, the absolutely terrible 80s Ewok film. and they escaped in the family Tawani shuttle that is still technically there. They were able to repair the shuttle and make it away as their getaway, which everyone, it was pretty funny. Kind of set the precedence of, I'm going to dig deep for whenever we pull references out, so they got to experience that. So that was fun. So then after that, we then kind of transitioned the game into the Shattered Empire. And the Shattered Empire is something that we see where the Rebellion has won. It's now transitioning to the New Alliance, or the New Republic. And we see that the Empire has now kind of become the Rebellion. Now they're struggling. There's a power vacuum that they're trying to figure out what their place is, how they can pull intelligence, and how they can pull ships, and they're fighting for control. And you have all these admirals and moffs that are positioning for power, and that's when we started getting introduced to a lot of the characters that really kind of help bring the Empire into what will eventually become the First Order. It was from there that they found out that they, if they got back with the Empire after Endor, that they were given a new mission. They got a new mission to go to Cloud City. Now, who remembers Cloud City? That was a fun game.
Yeah.
So Bob
Operation
was playing as our ISB agent. Bob is playing Hardington Core, Agent Core,
That's right.
and Demolitions Expert. And his character was involved with kind of getting some intel earlier and some other stuff. And we also had Chip, who's playing Cal. Raise your hand, Chip. Okay. Also an ISB agent. And then the game began to change from, yes, they're a squad now, but now they're more into the ISB. They're more into infiltration. They're more into gathering intelligence. So, Bob, how about you tell us about the mission on Cloud City?
As far as the mission on Cloud City,
Because I know that was like your favorite.
it was. It actually, hands down, was my favorite operation to this point. We were charged with infiltrating into Cloud City on Bespin, where we were supposed to retrieve an Imperial asset. I believe his name was Yup Tasho.
Mm-hmm.
And in infiltrating, we were also supposed to take out the long-range communication satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a halo drop, high-altitude, low-orbit drop, cutting through the clouds, whereas we were just doing that great free fall, almost like the image from Godzilla. Like there. Flying down through the clouds. We ended up having to maneuver. When we landed in Cloud City, we had to leap from building to building. So using ascension pistols, we made our way over to the tower that held the long-term or the long-range communication satellite, and not all of us made it. And so during those, during the complications, of course, that's where Cal ended up terrorizing some of the local populace with his vibro blade.
You mean the witnesses?
Right. That's also where I believe our squad leader, Cade, and also our heavy weapons gunner, Bantha, did not make it, and so they ended up making an excellent distraction on the ground and in some of the buildings. Meanwhile, that distracted most of the security for our medic, Dash, and actually no, you were on your other mission on Coruscant.
I was on Coruscant.
Okay, so Dash and I were able to make it all the way to the communication satellite, and we completed our mission as necessary. We also sent a message abroad saying that if you are not declaring your loyalty to the Empire, then we will consider you automatically a rebel. So if you don't want to be involved, it's too late. You either declare for or against the Empire. Having said that, it turned out that Cloud City was being guarded by droids that had been activated, the old droids from the prequels.
Yeah, the Clone Wars. Yeah, the Separatists had a base there, and they had actually activated them.
Yeah. So we ended up battling droids, battling Cloud City security.
Yep.
We ended up making our way down to the lower levels of Cloud City, and there were millions of people on board the actual city itself, and I was not aware until we did this mission. I was not aware of the scale of Cloud City itself, which was pretty cool. But it happens to be, Dash, it was your home? Okay.
387th floor.
Yes, yes. So 387 levels below.
2 from the bottom.
Yeah, that's right. So we ended up going all the way down to 2 levels from the bottom floor and retrieved Yup Tasho, who turned out to be one of Emperor Palpatine's advisors, Imperial advisors, along with an Imperial bodyguard. And as we were extracting him and we were waiting for pickup, we were jumped by some unknown lightsaber wielder. I'm not going to.
Well, we had a 3-way fight because remember you guys got there and there were droids coming to the
Exactly.
landing pad. You had the Cloud City security
Cloud
jumping
City
in,
security, so-
and then a third party.
Yes, a third party that showed up and dropped and just opened up the major cans, the 6-pack of whoop-ass.
Yes.
And it turned out that this Jedi or Force user, whoever, was no friend of the Sith and no friend of the Jedi either.
As long as you know these guys.
And so, in dramatic fashion,
You defeated her.
we did. We found out that it was a her, not just a him or an it. But we all pulled together as a squad, and it turned out that it was the Breaker brothers' mother, who
Right.
was presumed to be dead.
Dun, dun,
Dun dun dun!
That was our first major twist of the game. Who we thought that earlier until that she had perished on the Death Star.
Yes.
But she had escaped.
Yes.
And come to find out that she also was one of the Inquisitors. So she was an Inquisitor. She was this master pilot, an ace. And now she's been defeated, and we had a pretty tense situation.
Extremely.
As Chip, Chip's character, get him mixed, lines crossed there, is that he was like, she's a dirty, rotten Jedi, and she needs to die.
Yes.
And the Breaker Brothers were like, that's our mother. So just
Well, one of them.
one of them, right? Yeah. So there was kind of. Lance was there first, and then there was a little side mission that we had for Dak, who did not experience all of this. So he got to like, wait, what happened? When he got back from his little side mission. So that was interesting. And what we found out is that she's very much still influential in the recovering Empire. And that there's some different factions. There is Yup Tashu, who is kind of leading up these acolytes of the Beyond that we learned about, which are, basically like Vader cultists. Like they're searching out for Sith artifacts and they're searching out for the next Vader.
Yes.
And he believes that that's what they need to do. Then we get introduced to the Breaker Brothers' mother, whose name is Reyna, but she goes by
Lord Varen.
There you go. See if y'all remember. Lord Varen, who was her Inquisitor name. Stop. Okay, so then there's a little bit of a power struggle there, and we find out that she now is in very tight with some of the admirals that you guys are with. Admiral Ray Sloan, who, if anyone's watching, would know that's a big character in Shattered Empire, so that we got to have some interaction there. And we find out that Lord Varen, the Breaker Brothers' mother, is now going to be in charge of the new ISB division because all of ISB was destroyed when Coruscant was overtaken and when the Death Star blew. So now she's in charge. So Cal was like, okay, fine. I won't kill her.
Boss.
Yet. So now that brings us to the latest mission, where things got really interesting, because in our backstories, Cal's character is from Corellia, and he joined the Empire because there was a rebel bombing at a CEC factory, and it killed his brother who worked there. Intel came out that possibly there's another faction that was involved with those bombings and might have gotten away with some intel or some schematics, what it came out to be, of the Empire, and it wasn't the rebellion. So they needed to kind of investigate this. Well, they start by going to Corellia. So they travel to Corellia, and from there they're looking for the evidence that was crated up, So they end up finding that, and they meet Mox, a Deveronian scoundrel, as we found out, and he gave up the parts pretty easily.
Yes, he did.
After, I believe it was Dak who wanted to just shoot him in the face, and they're like,
I
no.
offered to shoot him a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should trust your instincts.
Right. So the time when being a murder hobo was the correct play. Actually, we later found out.
Was it though? Was
Yes.
it?
Well,
It
yes,
might have
it
been
was.
the threat that
It
led
was-
to him telling our business.
He didn't know I was going to shoot him.
So on Corellia, they get the parts, and they're trying to figure out who made these bombs. Like they're trying to figure out who this mysterious third party is, and we find out that those parts had already been sold. Not parts, I guess it was the rubble, the remnants of it. Evidence.
Residue,
It was the
yeah.
evidence had been sold and was out for delivery, but they had kind of intercepted it, so they got it, but they knew where it was going, and where was it going?
Mandalore.
Mandalore, everyone's favorite not place to go.
Yay.
So they're like,
Of
crap,
course.
of all the places it could be. So they go to Mandalore, and, we're shocked to see that Mandalore is a lot different than what they anticipated.
Yes.
It is a peaceful, neutral city. They don't have weapons. They have some security, and they also didn't seem to really care about the whole Empire falling. They weren't
That's true.
really, they were neutral. And they were like, well, this isn't the Mandalore we heard about, but that's the Mandalore that you guys experienced until y'all went to find this lady who apparently had purchased the bomb residue, the evidence.
Yes.
And y'all go out to this hick town out in the middle of nowhere. Y'all find this cantina that she's working at, and Dak, why don't you tell us what happened at the OK Corral on Mandalore?
It was. I think it was pretty obvious she was setting us up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Maybe
say obvious.
The old lady.
She was
The
setting us
little
up.
old lady.
She's a bomb maker and a sympathizer.
Fair enough.
Take her
so
away.
I believe I snuck up to the door and was listening. I could hear her on the radio. I could hear her on a radio telling someone to send reinforcements.
Well, that was after
They're
y'all had
here.
intimidated her.
Well, no, we just said we were looking for. We didn't know it was her. We were
Yeah.
like, we're looking for this lady.
So 7 armed guys
We
come
have a
into
delivery
cantina.
for her.
Like-
That's
armed.
after that important detail of
lightly armed.
him shooting.
Lightly armed.
Lightly
Vaguely
armed.
disguised.
With
We
your
saw
long
dinner
rifle.
I didn't have my long rifle.
Oh, that's
All I
right.
had was my pistol
Okay.
Yeah,
and
still,
a
y'all,
thermal detonator.
y'all didn't look like y'all were like, hey, we're just out looking for a good time. You know?
The OK Corral.
Right.
He murdered an old lady.
That's the
I
short of
didn't-
it.
You murdered her.
She was a
In the
bomb
face.
maker. She was a bomb maker and
She called
a
people
rebel
to kill us.
sympathizer.
Take her away.
You shot an old lady in the face.
Bake her away, toys.
You shot an old lady in the face.
That's
Back
a
in the
weird
head,
way of
actually.
saying leg.
But wait. But wait, there's more.
Right. So then what happened?
Then a fight broke out.
Then Death Watch showed up.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So then
Death
some
Watch.
Mandalorians.
And there was
showed-
a firefight.
Yeah, it was a
Yes.
pretty massive firefight in the cantina.
It was ultimately resolved by him always killing everyone.
Right. So in the middle of this battle that turned out being a bloodbath, and a lot
It was pretty brutal.
a lot of people were dropping pretty quick, and it was only because of Dash the medic that a lot of people made it out alive.
Dash saved
The
3 people.
yeah,
3
the
down.
stim packs,
He was
soldiers.
MVP of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
MVP
Easily.
possibly of the
Yeah.
campaign.
easily.
Yeah. So it's
Easily.
always good to have a healer.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
always good to have a healer. So then y'all are in the middle of all this, and they've called in reinforcement, an airstrike. So you've got a protectorate flying around who just did an airstrike, blew up half the cantina.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sorry, this was Dak. Again, it was Dak.
I was
Had a brilliant idea of throwing a thermal detonator at some people.
rocked and downed.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was clearly marked what this was. And he's like, I'm throwing it over there to 3 people. And it was a fuel depot, which blew up half the town and nearly killed Cal. And he had to make a daunting check to not
Cal's
get
fine.
vaporized.
Cal's fine.
Which he made. And so then they escaped Mandalore, or so they thought. Before how y'all escaped, y'all met 2 people there in the middle of all this that said any enemy of Death Watch is a friend of ours. Y'all met 2 characters You met Typhus and Bree Ryle, who allowed you guys to use their mud jumper, as it's called, a Hawk 290 to get away.
Yep.
And they delivered y'all to the Endurance that was parked away.
This was after finding out that our stupid droid.
We'll get back to
Yeah,
BT.
we'll get back to
We're
BT.
going to talk about BT in a second.
Ah.
That's a whole other side. I'm trying to. We'll come back to that. Okay, so then y'all get back to the Endurance. Y'all are trying to get away, and Death Watch isn't done. They bring in the heat,
Yeah, they do.
and we had a pretty massive battle in the airs over Mandalore. Everyone had to run to the gunnery stations, and we had a little air battle. The Endurance has seen better days. It got ripped up and nearly destroyed by the concussive missiles, but y'all were able to do enough damage, and I think y'all ended up killing all of them.
One got away.
One got away.
Yeah.
That's right. One got away. So
One
there was
got
5, and y'all ended up taking them down. But the ship lost its hyperdrive capability. It was exposed.
Yeah.
Y'all had to. It was a lot of major issues. So y'all kind of do a gentle landing out in the middle of nowhere on Mandalore, and then our next game, we had to repair the ship and find some parts. Very, very Phantom Menace-y in a way. Just out in the middle of nowhere, and we've got to find a hyperdrive. They did not find a Toydarian or anything like that. They did go to a town.
They
They
went to a farm first.
went to a farm first. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip that for brevity. Long story short, they were able to requisition the parts that they needed.
It's a very strong word.
Instead of buying them or bartering, they're just like, we're the Empire. Taxes are levied. Taxes are levied, and we're going to take these parts. And they did.
Their service to the Empire was greatly
Their
appreciated.
service to the Empire was greatly appreciated. So they got back to the ship. Long story short,
We're
they
supposed to be good guys, Kyle. We're supposed to be
right,
good guys.
right,
good
and
guys.
then
I
they
still shot him all in the face.
right, and they blast off and get away to a nearby system, Terrace, which we found out there was an Imperial base there. Actually, as a space station, small space station, not like a big one with a safety laser. So they got there, and that's where we ended as they were gathering intel on what the next play was. And that is the overarching story. Now we need to go backwards a little bit and tell a little bit about some side plots and twists that have been going on, because it is Star Wars, and the one thing that we haven't talked about is the Force. And that is something that this group of stormtroopers started to get in contact with. And I'm trying to remember where it started. It started, I believe, with...
I had a vision.
That's right. So Lance's character, Cade, had started having a vision and started learning that he had the ability to foresee certain things. And it started right before the Battle of Endor.
Yes, I saw the A-wing.
Yeah, there was an A-wing, and
Yeah.
it was able to dodge that. So it's something that happened there.
Yep.
And then that kind of started building. Also, actually, no, in boot camp is where it started. I totally forgot. Cal's character, who said, I'm going to go sneak up behind the guy and
That's
just, like, Nightcrawler bamf behind the guy. So, yeah, he had some force ability as well, more physical in nature. And then, so we had that going on. We also had Bob's character, Hardington Core, was actually experiencing different types of visions. Why don't you
Yes.
talk to us about that?
In my visions, there was an instructor who was training me painfully in the ways of lightsaber combat forms, and I started mastering the Shin style. So, over time, in my mind, I developed a healthy respect for the pain of a lightsaber. I also developed discipline, because it requires discipline to use the Force, and over time, I found out that this teacher was the teacher of Revan,
Yes.
turned out.
Yes, so,
so-
that was a recent revelation.
Yes.
So we've had some play with the Force that was interesting, and some things have been playing out. And then you also gain the knowledge of how to construct a lightsaber.
Yes.
But, of course, the hard part of that is getting a lightsaber crystal. So now we're going to back up. Do you remember the Tawani family's shuttle that y'all found from the Caravan of Courage? Y'all found the family shuttle, and y'all were able to escape. Well, Cade, Lance's character, had a vision about something that led him there, and started looking around and found that there were some Sith artifacts on the shuttle. And through the manifest, he found out that the father of the Tawanis was a no good smuggler of Sith artifacts, and had several things that were interesting. What were the interesting things?
I found a Kyber crystal, red, a Sith holocron, an incense burner, and then a set of ropes. I didn't pay much attention to the set of ropes. I focused mainly on the incense burner and the Kyber crystal, and then the holocron, which were super cool.
Right.
I passed the crystal off to Hardington after he shared the knowledge that he could build a lightsaber, which he promptly used to build a lightsaber.
You're good at thinking.
Right. We started meditating using the incense burner and the holocron, and it turns out the holocron was records of Count Dooku teaching Sith, or not Sith, but lightsaber forms. It was Ventress, right?
Right,
That
right.
was- yeah. So we meditated on that. One of these last sessions, they were using the incense burner to try and construct another lightsaber, and I wanted to meditate, so I put the robes on finally. And I just thought they were some ratty old robes. It turns out, while I was meditating with these robes on, I had a vision. In that vision, I was seeing through Revan's eyes and being like bowed down to by multitudes of warriors. So I guess these robes belong to Revan at
Right.
some point.
Right. And I remember when that happened, I think it was Tanner who like jumped up and like jogged around the room, and
Yeah.
it was pretty fun. So yeah, so a lot of ties in with the Old Republic and with Revan, and then we found out that Darth Treya, who's actually one of the villains from KOTOR, ends up and is a mentor to Revan, has been training him, and then we learned that she's been training you for a single purpose. And what is that purpose? Do you remember?
To prepare for the coming of Revan.
The new Revan.
The new Revan.
The new Revan, right. So to prepare the coming of the new Revan.
Yes.
And then
But does that mean I'm supposed to prevent the new Revan, or am I supposed to prepare others to
prepare
receive him?
for the coming of.
Okay, fair enough. I will just
So
prepare.
how do you prepare? I don't know. We'll just have to see how
With
that
a
goes.
silver
It means that I'll prepare. and
The
I'll-
Silver Surfer.
Yes. I am apparently a Silver Surfer.
Right. So also backtrack. Remember the Breaker Brothers' mother. Now there was something about her character. We'll also go back in detail and say is that not only did she was anti-Sith, anti-Jedi, Force user, but she claimed to be a Revanite. So that was kind of another thing, like, whoa, all these things are kind of tying together. And she talked about the fact that we need to prepare for something worse that is coming. So everyone's mind started racing, like, what's worse than this group of terrorists that blow up space stations and kill millions of people? So there's been this looming threat, and that was part of the reason that we went on this whole adventure to Mandalore, to Corellia, and then to Mandalore to find out what this third party is, and somehow maybe Death Watch, this rogue faction of Mandalore, may be involved. Now let's also talk about Tanner's character. So Tanner's character, remember, I've got it, Kalen Jeanette, actually is from Mandalore. But his character was introduced not in boot camp. His character was introduced later on a side mission when Dak went home to Coruscant to gather intel to kind of find out for the Empire what's happening in Coruscant. You know, there's a civil war that's broken out there. Also, that's where they're from. He was looking for his father and information on that. And there he found Kalen, Tanner's character. And Kalen has an interesting backstory. His backstory is very different than everybody else. He was actually brought into ISB. He was a slave on Nal Hutta, was bought actually by the Empire to be a part of a program to train future Inquisitors, with the point of hopefully one of them would be powerful enough to overthrow Vader. So the goal, so he's been training since childhood, well, not childhood, adolescence, I guess, to be one of these people that would kill Vader.
Wow.
The issue with that is that every single person that went after Vader died, and then Vader found out about this program, and he went and killed everybody in the program. And Kalen's character was away, fortunately, when this happened, so he gets back and everybody's dead. And he's like, well, the Empire thinks I'm dead too, so I'm just gonna peace out and go into hiding and let that be my story. And he's on Coruscant when he gets a vision. And what was your vision?
My vision was of the Breaker apartment. I did not know this at the time, but it told me to go there and protect the one who was there with my life at all costs. And upon getting there, I was waiting, and Dak shows up, and it made sense, and everything in the vision came to pass. And now I'm basically protecting him with my life because that's what the Force told me to do.
And your character's been on an interesting thing because you've been trained with the dark side, but you know there's this other thing out there.
He has a insatiable desire to learn more about the Force, but he believes in more that there's other things, there's more power just outside of the dark side. The dark side isn't just the one way to use the Force, and he's trying to learn and seeking someone to at least show him these things and seeking out the knowledge to expand that of his knowledge of the Force, I guess, from just the dark side.
Gotcha. Okay. So that kind of is a little bit about everybody here, and up to the point where we are. Is there any major things that I've missed?
He murdered another old lady.
We're going to
Yes.
skip the fact that Dak,
the farm.
we're skipping the farm incident.
No, it needs to be discussed.
No,
That was an
no,
accident.
no,
Okay.
it didn't happen. Actually, it did, but we're just going to skip it. So,
I had an ISB agent to help me make sure it didn't happen.
She had a weapon.
anyway, skipping ahead. Any
Just
other
versus cases.
any other details that I've missed of our
Our
campaign?
droid is a terrible, terrible human
Oh,
being.
let's talk about
He's not a
BT.
human being, it is a droid.
That's
So
what
they
I
have
said.
this astromech that was kind of given to them by their mother for which mission? Cloud City, correct?
No, it was,
No, for
Mandalore.
Mandalore,
Yeah.
right. So Mandalore, right.
Actually, Corellia.
Right, the Corellia. So whenever they're doing the Corellia investigation, they were kind of given this astromech to kind of help with the investigation, to kind of be her eyes and ears and to kind of report back. Trusted companion is how she described it. That was not the case. BT is
Would ruin this droid.
right. Calls everybody meatbags. We
Pulls out
found
many guns on us.
Yeah, he's got guns. Apparently, he's
And a
packing,
flamethrower.
and he's just got a real sour attitude. Doesn't like people in general, and it's been more of a nuisance than a help, I would guess. Has he done anything to help you?
No.
No. In fact, he
Nothing
was
at all.
flying the shuttle on Mandalore,
And he left.
and instead of coming and getting you, he went for reinforcements.
He left. He abandoned us.
Right.
Left us for dead.
Y'all did end up catching up with BT on Terrace in the military base, and he's reporting back to Lieutenant Rayner, who's the commander of the Endurance, actually y'all's direct
Commanding officer.
and totally sucking up to her, like, hey, how are you doing, everything, and then looking at you like meatbag, dirty, So, yeah, this is not the droid that you guys
Not the
like.
droid we were looking
We
for.
have another droid
The
too.
one we deserve.
Right. Don't forget
Oh,
about
no one
CZ.
deserves
The
this.
CZ is the protocol droid,
Yes.
the family protocol droid that helped raise the Breaker brothers. He was rescued on Coruscant and blasted to pieces, put back together, and now y'all have an educational protocol droid because that's so useful. But it's more of a sentimental value.
Significantly more
I'm
useful than
proficient
BT.
This is true. At least he's not trying to kill you.
That's a plus.
Right. All right, so we've got a lot of other cast of characters that we've met, and we'll kind of run into them tonight, but I think that kind of gets us caught up. So, long story, but I want to recap everything.
Certainly.
And now we are at our final game before we start our new D&D campaign next week. Okay, so we are on the space station at Terrace. We've spent some time there, resting, recovering, swimming around in a Bacta tank for a while, and getting prepared for our next mission, which is going back to the Mandalore system, but this time we're going to Concordia, which is the moon on Mandalore. Apparently, Death Watch has an installation there, and our intelligence suggests that the schematics that were stolen from Corellia are there. We've also been given the intel of what those schematics are. It is the schematics for a new flagship for the Empire to be built. It is a dreadnought. It is said to be a fleet killer. It's a massive ship. If you're familiar with The Last Jedi, it's that ship. This is the schematics on how they're going to build it.
Nice.
So, but now Mandalore has it, or Death Watch.
Okay.
And so now the goal is to go back and retrieve those. So it's going to be another ISB stealth op to go in, slice in,
Perfect.
grab these, and get out.
Okay.
What could go wrong? Everything. Okay.
Literally everything.
So,
And make them pay.
correct. Is there any questions we have before I go over the op in detail? We good?
Let's go blow stuff up.
Go blow stuff up? Right. That's not this mission. We got the guy with the Gatling gun he wants to use.
Let's be
Yeah, like
honest.
two
This
grenades
is
in
every
each hand.
mission.
This is every mission. It starts as stealth,
Yes.
and then
Remember, you only blow things up when things go wrong.
right. That's what we're doing with
Always
Flash
does.
Sale.
Every mission. When in doubt, blow it up.
Okay, all right. So everyone's been given their Shadow Scout armor. Helps make you invisible to sensors.
Yes.
And this is going to be a little bit more difficult than what we did on Cloud City. And the commanding officer, which is Lieutenant Rayner, who's coming in to kind of give you the information. So y'all are at like a hollow table. She's kind of, broadcasting an image of Concordia. And immediately you see that Concordia has the same issues that Mandalore had, in the fact that it was just bombed and bombed and bombed, and it's a wasteland. They have intel that has come in that they believe that they know where this Death Watch installation is, of where this is being housed, and there is a plan of an airstrike to just decimate this place before it's a problem. But before they do that, they want to get those schematics and get out. So your mission is to go in, get the schematics, get out, and as soon as you're safe, Gamma Squadron, which is our bomber squadron, will come in and nuke the place from high orbit. It's the only way to be sure, right? It's the only way to be sure. So that is the mission in a nutshell. Of course, there's always more. So to get you guys in, they're going to be looking for Imperial ships. So our old friends, Typhus and Bree Ryle, who's given us the intel on Death Watch, who hates Death Watch, has some ties in, apparently, with Death Watch. It's a little vague, but they say they can get y'all in. So the goal is that y'all go in on their Hawk 290 mud jumper. They'll drop you off as they're delivering supplies to Death Watch, and then y'all can sneak in. That way, they will never suspect, supposedly, this is the plan, that Mandalorians would have anything to do in helping the Empire. So they were very helpful in rescuing you and keeping you out, and they've given a lot of intel to ISB that seems to be on point. They seem very motivated, not necessarily to help the Empire, but to destroy Death Watch.
Yeah.
They very much want the peace that seems to be going on right now on Mandalore. It's a welcome change. They're actually able to build houses and keep them. So
Not while we're around.
right. So that's the plan. Now, as this plan is going on, from one of the doors. Now BT is here as well, sitting right next to Lieutenant Rayner while this is going on, saying, "Yes, it's a good plan. It's a good plan." Doors open up, and Lord Valen comes in as well. So the Breaker Brothers' mother has returned after the disastrous battle on Akiva, where we lost a lot of ships, and we were feared at first that she might have died, but she made it away. Again, she has a knack for that. It's almost like she can see things coming. So she comes in as the head of ISB and continues to go over the details and says that she will be with you on this op. But the way that she can help you the most is in the air. So she will be leading Sapphire Squadron. She has her custom TIE Defender, and she will lead with her 2 wingmen in case you need assistance. Now, we can't just show up with all of this. This is all in case.
Right.
So we have our old friend from boot camp to help us. Zahn, the Mandalorian pilot that we met at boot camp, has come in. And remember, he wanted to be on the squad, but we found out that he was an ace behind the stick.
Right.
And he got kind of forced into the Imperial Navy. Well, now he has promoted from flying shuttles because now there's fewer and fewer pilots. It's amazing how that happens. And now he is flying a TIE Phantom, which is a recon ship. It's a cloaked TIE fighter. And he will be sitting in orbit waiting for your signal, good or bad. Okay. Good, send in the ship to get you out. Bad, send in the cavalry, and here comes the bombers. Okay? So he is sitting waiting for your call. So and he will be flying what's called as Wraith, is his call sign. So we have the Gamma Squadron, which is the bombers. We have Sapphire Squadron, which is your air support. You have Wraith, who is your recon. And then, of course, the Endurance will be standing by as well.
You said Gamma was the bombers?
Gamma's
Yes.
the bombers. And they are led, Gamma leader is actually an assault gunboat.
Zahn's call sign was Wraith.
Wraith.
Wraith. W-R-A-I-T-H. Wraith.
The Shadow Scout armor still Soka 3.
What? No.
No.
1 and 1.
1 and 1.
1 and 1. Oh,
Yeah.
That's us from your Brown.
Okay. Tracking.
Yeah, okay. And we've already gone through, before the stream started, we went ahead and got all our gear. We're all ready to go. Is there any questions about the op itself before we get started?
Do we have any kind of map or layout about the installation, Deathwatch installation?
No.
Okay.
However, at this meeting, you also have Typhus and Bree Ryle. Both of them, brother-sister combo,
Right.
seem to have a lot of information and intel, and they can kind of explain it to you.
Okay.
This is what Typhus is saying. Typhus is like, listen, we can put you on comms, we can walk you through it, left
Okay,
here,
good.
right here.
Perfect.
It is an underground bunker, so you'll find the hatch, we'll drop you off, and then you're going to have to go in, and we can lead you to where we believe the schematics would be on the terminal.
Okay.
So as he's saying that, y'all kind of notice that Bree is arguing with him a little bit, and Typhus is adamant that no, they can do this.
What's
So,
the problem? What's her concern?
She wants to go.
Oh.
She's been in there.
Well, if she's been in there, her experience could be invaluable.
But if she's identified, do they know them? Do they know her?
We can put her in armor. She'll
Slap
have
the
a helmet on
her.
Well, y'all don't need to be seen at all. Y'all are not going in as Mandalorians.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
She doesn't need to be in
Why were
danger.
they there before?
huh?
Why were you there before?
She says, "Well, they tried to recruit us, and
and they just bring you into their secret base for recruiting, and if you say no, just like
it was a family tie.
okay,
Funny how that happens.
Our houses were once aligned.
okay.
Given the state of affairs, perhaps it would be best if you were to remain here or remain above in the mud jumper so that you could, again, provide additional insight. And if something goes sideways, then you can come in and not necessarily be seen with us.
Typhus immediately says, Agent Core is absolutely correct. That is the play we should go with. Bree immediately jumps in and says, it's a maze. It's impossible. It's not. It's a maze.
She can stay with Kaylin and me. We'll keep watch on her. Just put her in Imperial armor. She'll just be another. She'll
Okay.
be another stormtrooper down there.
Okay.
Okay, well, y'all gonna have to convince Typhus of this because he's being
Obviously,
the
he wants to
older
keep
brother.
his sister safe.
He wants to keep his sister
And
safe.
I'm okay with keeping her
Stop
safe.
Your service to the Empire is
Requisition!
requisitioning your sister.
Again, just another. Oh, never mind.
We do have the best combat medic in the galaxy, so she'll be alright.
Yeah.
That is true.
Plus
That
the
is-
best sniper, plus a really big ass sword.
Well,
Lightsaber now.
he's upgraded.
I would assume you're keeping both.
Upgrade.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dual
So,
wielding.
The sword's for show. The lightsaber's for.
go.
Yeah. This is my rifle. This is my gun.
All right. So, if are y'all gonna try to talk him into it, or what's the plan?
I'm leaning against it, but if you guys want to take.
What's the
Why are you leaning against it though?
I think it's another.
It's another mouth to feed.
It's another person who can trip something.
Yeah, but she knows what not to trip and
Yeah.
what tripwires are.
She also knows when to turn left and when to turn right. It's easier to see it and tell us, hey, turn left, than to say, I think you need to turn left because you're not there.
We're gonna go down there and be running into each other.
If something should go sideways, we're going to need some allies, potential allies. I'm just thinking strategically here.
We've
In terms
got-
of the family, obviously she and he they've got problems with Death Watch. If she dies and it becomes known that their house was already affiliated, then it might damage their standing. Whereas this way, they can provide support and influence, not just for this mission, but for other missions in the future as well.
I'd like to ask Bree, how Are your houses still aligned, or is there any standing to be lost?
Right now, they believe we're still aligned.
Fair.
Is there any chance we can't have any communications underground?
That's a possibility.
Is this the main?
So
Deathwatch
then, how would
base
we
of
know which way to
operations?
go?
We've got to take her with us. We have to have that intel on the ground.
She's too valuable. Like she knows too much.
Typhus,
She
why
could-
don't you come
Especially if there's a possibility of us
He
losing
hasn't been there.
comms. He would.
He hasn't been inside.
She has.
If there's a possibility of us losing comms, we need that intel on the ground.
Fair enough.
She also butts in. She goes, plus, I can slice, unless y'all want to take the droid.
No.
You.
Sold.
Sold.
That's all you had to say.
Deputized.
She's trying to find an angle.
Sure.
If
There's
found it.
there's obvious tension between you and the droid.
only place I'd take that droid is out in airlocks. He's an astromech. Oh, I hate that droid so much.
Okay.
Ah.
That's so funny. All right, so with that, you guys begin prepping, getting ready,
Yes. Go time.
strapping up, and checking ammo, getting ready to go.
Yep.
Are we about to go, or do we have like tomorrow we're gonna go?
We're ready. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Well, if
The
you
night-
need time,
The night before, I would have meditated.
Okay.
With my incense burner and the robes.
Really? You're just
And
going to get
robes?
lit in cosplay?
Yeah, totally. That's what we're gonna do, man.
Listen. This is the breaker room every night.
Yeah, like, we put on costumes, we light funny things.
Yeah.
And swing around laser
Lightsabers.
swords.
Right, right.
All right.
Fair enough.
Look at my shorts.
so you go and you use the last of the Korribanian incense.
Incense.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's something that never really came out. It's the last game. Go ahead, put it out.
There you go.
Interesting.
So, if you'll check your Discord, I sent you your vision.
Oh, jeez.
And if you want to tell everybody or just keep it and hold it, you can. Or it could just be vague. It's pretty vague.
Really?
So, all right. So we're getting ready.
Okay.
We're getting ready. Everyone's loading up and getting on board the mud jumper.
Yes.
As soon as you guys get online, you can see that Bree and Typhus are both geared up and ready to go.
Okay.
Bree's wearing a hodgepodge of armor and like a duster jacket, and she's got a pistol. And she seems like she's pretty good with it. Like she can like take it apart, put it back
That's
together,
good.
stuff like that. So
I'm gonna stop her and tell her, no, not the hodgepodge of armor. Same stuff we're wearing.
she looks, she goes, "No, I'm good."
Her armor's better.
Good enough for me.
Understand.
I think she might
But here's,
have...
by the way, I'm going to whisper over to Cal. I do have a concern that the fact that he was so adamant against her coming, we might be concerned about him possibly selling us out.
That's one of the reasons I'm happy to have his sister along.
I understand. But again,
Yeah.
In case we need a hostage.
plans and plans and plans, right?
The thought did cross my mind.
No, absolutely.
Oh,
They crossed mine as well. So,
Okay. All right. So we begin the drop.
all right.
We're on the way to the op. All right. So you guys are going to jump back from Terrace to Mandalore system. If you recall, y'all went to Terrace because it was a pretty quick jump.
Yes.
So it won't take you guys long in hyperspace, which is good because the mud jumper it's a tight fit. It's a very small freighter. They are carrying some deliveries for Death Watch to make it seem legitimate.
All right.
So you guys are kind of packed in pretty tight. So the 6-8 hours or whatever it takes for you guys to jump into the Mandalore system, it's tight. You're just kind of like, oh, this is miserable. So anything we want to do on the jump, or just jump in? Anything? Anybody?
Jump in.
Jump in?
Sure.
We're good?
I just want to contact Dr. Moore and see how he's doing. That's okay.
Oh, so back up we do before that. We will find out that he is fine,
Okay.
and that he seems to be in. You have to send a hollow message out. He is far out there. So this is one of your contacts that you'd met. He's in the what's called the Beyond, which is further out in unknown regions of space, and seems to allude to the fact that there's an Imperial base being built in a unknown sector.
Ah,
I wonder what that is.
interesting.
Don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's Big op. It's a big op.
Okay.
Is it
It's a
the
big-
first base?
No,
or-
no, no. It's just a big op. It's just a big, just something going on. All right, so you guys jump into
Long distance
Mandalore.
away.
Huh?
It's a long distance
It's
away.
long,
I'd say
far
it's an
away.
order of magnitude away.
It's an order. Right. So you guys drop into Mandalore space, and even though it's been a while since you've been here, it's still a little too soon.
Yes.
Your last trip here was bumpy, to say the
Yes.
least. So now we are back into Mandalore space, and you start heading towards Concordia. Immediately, y'all start getting on the comm back because y'all are basically in the hull of the ship. You can hear Typhus coming in saying we're in airspace, and there's a small terminal down there that y'all can kind of get up and see the other ships in the sector. Everything looks kind of normal ships, normal freighters kind of coming in and out. Nothing out of the ordinary. Particularly, y'all are always on the lookout for, the usual suspects, things to worry about, X-Wings, A-Wings, etc.
Yes.
Clear. So just your normal spacefarer traffic.
Okay.
Y'all pull into Mandalore. You can hear them above send out their transponder codes out to some unknown recipient, and then you hear some clicks come back, and it's interesting how they're using some type of clicking mechanism, the sound, to send back messages back and forth. It must be something that they're doing under a fog of war to kind of send back that this is where we are, landing sequence. So you don't hear audible commands. So it's just like a clicking. It's almost like think of like a Morse code in a way, but it's clicking. So you hear them kind of talking up top, about, hey, we're clear to go. And then they begin the descent into Concordia. You guys, there's no windows. Y'all are really just hucked around. You're the commanding officer, so you're just kind of looking at the screen. There's not a lot to see on the scanners outside, and there's kind of a drop as you kind of pop into the atmosphere, and y'all eventually land, or it's going to be a hot drop, because what he's got to do is he's got to deliver the goods and act like y'all didn't. So he's basically going to come down low, stop for half a second. Y'all are going to jump out and then roll. So that happens. Y'all all need to jump out. I need everybody, first rolls of the night, we've got to make a hard athletics check to see if we deboard effectively or if we fall and trip out the gate.
I'm gonna
It's going to be a hard athletics check.
Can I use coordination to do a combat
Either way,
roll?
yeah, whatever's better. So it's going to be athletics or coordination, whatever's better. Let's go around the board. Let's be pretty quick. And we're going to keep going as we... Yes.
I'm gonna jump last. I'm gonna stand be from the door, have my long rifle ready in case something happens, in case anybody jumps them, in case just providing Overwatch.
So you're going to be last, but then as y'all are kind of lining up, you also see that Bree comes down, and she's got, you guess she's wearing like some family Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
And she's got her helmet on, but it's got like the big blast shield that's pulled up. So it looks like a motorcycle helmet, like an old 80s motorcycle helmet, but she's got like the blast shield pulled up, and she's got her pistol. Huh?
Straight push.
Okay, we're gonna call it okay. All right, so you're kind of hobbling out the gate, and part of it is that as you come down, it's extremely rocky terrain. I mean, it's almost like you're dropping into the side of a crater. Keep going around. What do we got?
Yeah.
Good.
Hard is only two.
No success or failure, but 3 advantage.
All right, same as him. Y'all are hobbling out, sliding around, making a ton of noise. You're not injured, but you're making some
You
noise.
said it was hard?
Yes.
Okay.
3 purple.
Uh, 2 advantage and 2 failure for when I do jump.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. Immediately take 2 strain as you kind of hamper yourself down. Like you said, you're going last.
Yeah.
But you're going to be hampered on your movement.
3 hits and 3 threats.
Okay, so you land, but you make a ton of noise, like rocks. This is not the quiet jump that we needed. Y'all are letting everybody know that y'all are, huh?
Of course it's not.
Right.
Yikes. Triple failure
This is
with
starting off
triple
well.
success. I mean, triple advantage.
Okay, alright, so you don't make any sound, but you take 3 strain as you're falling around the rocks, cutting yourself up, legs are hurting, but you muffle the sound with your body.
I'll break the fall with my spine.
Right. Luckily, I landed on my back.
Wait a minute, we're supposed to use one more purple.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Sorry.
Go for it. Let's see how we do.
Doesn't matter.
That's awesome. Even better.
I'm fine.
Yeah, with
Good.
advantage.
Yeah.
All right, so you land just fine.
Yep.
All right, we'll go around
One
last.
of us did.
Yep.
Right.
The big gun's got to land.
Is there? Let's see.
Doesn't drop the big gun.
Never drops the gun.
Yeah, we
Well-
don't have to do it.
Besides that one time. We don't talk about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Voluntarily put it down.
Good to go. Let's push.
How we got?
Well, push.
Straight push.
Yes.
All right, so you don't injure yourself. You do make some noise.
I do remove a setback if there were a setback.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah.
All right, so you do make some noise as with pretty much everybody else. So everyone's kind of hampered a little. Not everyone, but the people that failed, you got the strain. Y'all are kind of hurting yourself as you're hampering out the gate.
Mhm.
A lot of noise, a lot of rocks. The ship takes back off. It's amazing you guys were somehow louder than the engines of the ship. That's a true miraculous feat for our ISB team, but y'all managed to do
I'm
it.
immediately scanning the horizon, seeing if we were.
Okay, give me a perception check. And with your scope on your gun, you get bonuses. Just give me an average difficulty.
One bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
That was good.
That's the same roll. One success, one triumph, one success, one advantage.
One triumph, one success, one. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So in the distance, you do see will this be a speeder, and you see a driver, and you can see. You see him through your scope. He picks up a comm and he's talking. He's talking to somebody. You don't know what it is, obviously, but you can see there's somebody talking.
But he sees
Man,
us.
Mandalore Death
No.
Watch. Is he headed this way?
It's definitely Mandalorian. He's more. You can't tell. He's standing still in his car basically, and he's like talking on him.
Okay,
like,
he's not riding.
No, he's on. He's in the vehicle. It has stopped.
Report. I'll give that report. Take the shot, or
Is that 400 yards away?
Huh?
400 yards away?
300.
300? Is he between us and the entry point to the base?
It's to the right.
How far to the right?
Call it 100 yards.
Because we don't want this guy to know that we're here. We don't want anyone to know that
Well,
we're
if he's
here.
already
I
on
can-
comms.
And he's on comms, but he may not see us. Is the thing.
you want me to take the shot?
If you take the shot and he's in the middle of conversation,
Yeah.
they're gonna know something's up.
I can wait till he puts his calm
I
down.
mean, I
What if
guess
they
do
check
that.
back?
How
We
about
had
we
a
stealth for a
s-
while?
We haven't.
He's always gonna have a
really
chance to
stealth-
take-
Quickly, what's the decision?
I don't
We had a
think we
weapons
need to kill him.
malfunction.
What's
I'm
the
gonna-
decision to man on the gun?
I'm gonna keep an eye on him.
Oh, for the first time, he doesn't pull the trigger.
Not the first time, the second
female.
time, and the first
Right.
time.
Wait, it's a girl. Shoot her. What a terrible
It's an
joke.
old lady, even
Terrible
better.
joke.
I-
It did happen.
I'm gonna keep
did
an eye
happen.
on him. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. And it's not the first time I
Dak,
haven't shot somebody.
space murder hobo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So y'all, he's sending some report. He's talking. You can't tell what he's doing from here. But y'all wait for a while, and he's kind of sitting still. Y'all want to stealth away from him?
Is he facing toward us?
To the side. Y'all are to his right.
Right. Is he looking toward the way that we'll be moving?
No, he's got the back.
Then we need to just stealth on.
Just
a
stealth
little.
on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we can do a stealth check. Do y'all want to do fast? Well, that's going to be everybody.
I want Chip to roll for all of us.
Yes. Yes.
He can go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scout. Can we do that?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
do
go.
All right. We'll send Cal, our
Rover,
resident
rover,
ninja.
rover,
And I'll
Space
provide-
ninja.
And I'll provide
What's the
Overwatch
difficulty?
for him.
It's actually against my perception, which is not near as good as what he's going to be rolling because we run out of dice when he rolls stealth. So quickly,
Yeah.
yeah, you're probably going to beat what I rolled.
And that needs to be re-rolled. So 5, 6, 8 success. Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
No, 6 success and 4 advantage.
All right, yeah, you vanish into the netherworld.
Vanish into ether. You
Right,
make him a sandwich.
yeah.
You deliver him a sandwich. He has no idea where
Are
it
you?
comes
Are
from.
you? I'm assuming. Are you using your
The shadow suit, yeah.
No, not just shadow suit, but also the force thing. Are you
Yes.
activating that as well? Okay. All right.
That's not on. So you make stealth checks.
Okay. All right. So you get up ahead. You scout around. Give me a quick perception check. You're about halfway to the bunker.
Perception.
Still keeping an eye on this.
Still
guard.
average.
Is it opposed or difficulty?
It's no, this is average. Just average.
So,
Yeah.
Opposed would be if they're stealthing, if someone's just standing there or something.
a triumph
Yeah.
and a success.
Triumph and a
Yes.
success. Okay.
Yeah.
You look around and it is a very, if you basically you see a path through a couple of craters. It's a straight shot to the side of the bunker that you're trying to get to. It's clear. There's nobody there. Like
Okay.
you've got like a vantage. You're looking. You're not seeing anything. It's completely clear all the way up.
Okay, call back on comms and let them know.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. Quickly, everybody, give me a stealth check.
All right.
How hard?
On that,
It is against my perception.
I'm going last. Keeping crosshairs on this guy.
Okay.
If he looks our way or makes some
Right.
indication that he's noticed us, I'm just gonna take him out.
Sniper's going.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do y'all want? Bree is following behind. Is she with
She's
you?
gonna stay. She's gonna stay with me and
The rear guard
Yeah.
too. Okay. All right. So
Success advantage.
Just make sure you have the
Okay.
background.
okay.
Do I see anything?
Just go ahead and make it so you don't have to get it again.
Okay. Stealth is
Agility.
agility. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
3 success.
All right. Good
Okay.
job.
One triumph.
Take it.
Okay.
That is 2 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. Keep going. As y'all are
Go ahead.
making your way stealthily up
Has
to
he,
the
has he made any move yet?
1, 2, 3,
Huh? No.
4. 4 hits.
4 hits.
Yeah, that was some serious cunning.
Okay.
Two hits, 2 advantage.
Okay. And right before, okay, hang on. All right, Bree, as she starts walking forward, she doesn't make any noise, but as she's walking forward, there seems to be, you don't know who it was in your group made some noise, and you see the guard turn and look in y'all's
As
direction.
soon as he turns,
As soon as he
he
turns his head.
Yeah.
All right, let's make the shot.
It was me.
1, 2.
I'm not going to name any names.
I was the lowest.
But somebody
one.
made some
I was
noise.
1 and 1, so.
That.
I only had one.
Jesus.
I only had one.
I
What's
rolled
the-
2 green dice.
Yeah,
That's all I had.
What's the
We got 9
difficulty
people.
here?
Okay, say again.
What's the difficulty here?
All right, so for this range, it's funny. It's hard, and then I need 2 setback dice as well.
Hold on.
There's,
I have something for this too.
I know you do, as our sniper is lining up the
Yes.
the shot.
Can I use this?
So,
Technically, it's going to be 3 setbacks.
Trevor,
Yeah.
on my war leader power sense danger, it says once per session I can remove 2 black dice from any one check. Are those only my checks?
It can be any check, but you want to use it here. It's because it's you use it once, that is the entire night.
Maybe use a force die.
I'll use
use
a
a
destiny
destiny
point.
Use
I'll use a destiny point.
Flipping a destiny point. Okay.
Oh.
So we started the night with 4 light side, 4 dark side.
Correct.
And y'all are using dark side points.
Yes. Correct.
So y'all are flipping a light side point to me. And so I now have 5 to your 3. And for
Correct.
people watching, it's an economy system that we can modify the dice by using destiny. And the more they use
Yes.
it, it allows me to use it back to them. So let's see if the shot is made, if the sentry is taken out,
Those
or
cancel. Those cancel.
we're going to have an early night.
Those cancel. Those cancel.
Uh-oh.
2 hits and 2 advantage.
2 hits, 2 advantage. All right, so what's the damage of your rifle? It's the pulse rifle,
Is
correct?
9, 10, 11.
Does it activate the crit?
No, crits on 4.
Crits on 4. All right, so 11.
Yeah.
Okay, you take the shot. You see through the scope, it goes through one shoulder, out the other shoulder, and you see his head just kind of dip forward onto the speeder as the speeder slowly starts to roll forward.
Away from the base?
Yes,
Yeah.
Nice.
good shot.
Got him, boss.
Good shot.
Can we stop that speeder?
It's slowly moving forward. Now, if y'all
But
want
it's
to
just
run
supposed
over
to
there,
visit?
and yeah, it's just it's
It's-
lazily moving to the left.
I just want to make sure it's not going to crash into anything and draw somebody's attention, or
It will eventually run into a crater.
At like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Take his communicator.
It's like a golf
Yes.
cart.
I was thinking about taking the communicator again.
Yeah.
Take the Cal method.
You want to
Yeah.
run up to it?
Cal, can you get the? Can you get
Yeah,
the
I'll
communicator?
sneak over there.
And
All right.
Stop the car. We might
All right.
need it on the way out.
Still check?
Yeah, do. Go for it.
Maybe it was gonna go over there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in a different dimension.
Right.
Basically.
Okay, so
Jeez.
There's two symbols on every face of every die.
okay,
Wait,
so
wait.
I've got 5 success.
So Chip's character Cal,
And
he does
9
one
advantage.
thing extremely well.
Stealth.
Stealth.
A lot of our characters do one
Yeah,
thing
it's,
extremely well.
everyone is a lot of one-trick ponies, but if you're gonna have one trick,
That's the trick.
that's the trick. What is it?
5 success
Pretty
and
good.
9 advantage.
Really good.
Okay. Roll a force dice for me.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, you are so calm. Your emotions are totally in check. You get right up to it. Everything seems fine. So you can. What do you want to do with the speeder?
He was going after the communicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up to the speeder.
Oh,
The
okay.
communicator is on the guy that's hunched over onto the
I
speeder.
Oh,
want
okay.
to double check him and make sure he's actually dead.
Way dead.
Okay, cool.
I shot him.
he's doubting your handiwork.
He
so
is
yeah, I
the
want
only
to
one loyal.
remove his communicator
Okay.
and then just try to line the speeder up on a
I
course
mean, you
that
can
looks like
stop
it's
it.
just gonna go.
You can't just stop it because his head is what's pushing it
I know,
forward.
but I'm thinking if someone else comes around and sees this guy slumped over in a speeder
He's disposing of the
versus a
body.
speeder going along at a reasonable clip, they might just think he's leaning in to grab something he dropped.
What do you want to do?
So yeah, let's send him the opposite direction of the base.
Okay.
Like anywhere that looks like he won't hit a mountain or something.
You're just gonna try to
quickly.
like slowly
Drive
steer him
on.
into the sun.
Yep.
He's like John Wayne going off into the sunset. Okay. All right. So you kind of like turn it, go that way slowly. You take his communicator, and then head back.
The old Bruce Banner going down the road.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Play the sad music from the Incredible
Yes.
Hulk. Right. Okay. I don't have that queued up, sadly.
No, but you do have mission music. Let's play.
Right, right, okay. So you guys are now moving forward, and y'all stealth all the way up to the base. The hatch has a terminal on it. It is locked. What do y'all want to
Free.
Yeah.
do? Remember that person that you brought? All right.
Do what you
Absolutely.
said you could do.
All right. So,
Can I help her?
I will
Huh?
help her.
all right. I
Do you
will.
have
Of course I have slicing.
no, like
Slicing.
anything that would actually help?
What is your?
I'm smart.
What would you roll?
I would roll 2 yellow, 1 green. 2 yellow and a green.
Okay, I'm better, so I'll take your boost.
I have 4 intelligence.
That is nice.
I will take that. So y'all are gonna work together.
Yes, all 3 of us.
All 3 of us will work together as you try to
Brilliant.
slice. I'd like to use a destiny point for the team.
To make it
Can you
easier.
redo it?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So flip a destiny. This is
6 and
it's-
2.
Correct. So it is a good. You're using. All right. All right. We. She opens it without a problem. She looks and goes. They have security measures in place. Let me go ahead and disable those as well.
Yes.
So she rolled extremely well. The flipping the destiny point helped me have enough advantage to trigger that there were personnel mines set up on the inside rail of the doors, and they have now been disabled.
They have
Basically, Star Wars Claymores.
Can I try to get one of those?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, you want to? You have your background is in saboteur.
Yes, it is.
So, what skill would that be for you?
Mechanics.
Mechanics. Make a mechanics check. You know where it's at. We're going to say it's an average difficulty.
Sure.
To see if you can.
Yes.
Danny, will you hand me the
Absolutely.
box, please?
Well, we just lost half the team.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Okay.
Restroom break.
All right.
But I didn't lose half the team.
All right.
Not on my watch. And my toolkit. Average difficulty, you said?
Average difficulty.
Alright.
See if you can.
Huzzah! Ha-ha! That's how you crush the roll.
What you got?
2 hits, 2 success. 2 hits, 2 advantage, and a triumph.
Oh wow! All right, so you're able to completely salvage 3 personal trip mines off of the door. As soon as the door opens, you're able to pull those off.
Okay.
Candy.
Yeah, candy.
Yeah, they're anti-personnel mines.
Okay.
Those just sound nasty.
Yeah.
Right.
that does.
It would have been great had y'all hit those. Damage on those is 12, just so you know. Blast 4, vicious 4.
Blast 4, vicious 4.
A
Yeah.
bunch of mines were in the entrance that were down.
3. You got to
Nice.
salvage 3 of them. You could absolutely reset them, use them for something else, whatever you want to do.
Okay, I definitely will.
Okay.
Nice. All right, guys.
Okay, so now y'all have made it back into the bunker,
Yes.
and while he's doing that, the rest of the group kind of covers the perimeter, closes the door behind you. As you go and you look into the base, you just basically see it turns sharply and is a stairwell down.
Okay.
What do y'all want to do?
Stuff down the stairwell.
Quick question.
Yes.
This is my first time actually being in a confined space.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Well, do I need to switch over to my pistol, or will my rifle be hampered?
Rifle's going to be hampered. So, and also the Z6, unless you're going to be on the back. The Z6, just so everyone knows, Darg, our heavy weapons guy, has basically a giant Gatling gun that he's carrying around. Depending on where we are, you may want to have the scatter gun, which is basically a shotgun, ready. But we are in confined spaces.
Okay.
So long hallway, you could use the Z6. Sharp corners, it's kind of hard to get the thing around.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, they both used ranged heavies.
Right, yeah, it's just, so which one are you want to have it?
I'll take out the shotgun. For
Okay, so basically you're going to strap the Z6 on your back, pull out the scatter gun, move forward. What do y'all want to do? Who's going down? Who's
Let's
walking
move
around?
forward.
I feel like
Maybe
Cal
move
should
ahead
take
to the
I
point.
got
Yeah.
your rear.
You're on point.
Yeah.
I'll be second.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Third.
alright. So,
Back.
can someone help me line up the
Medic's
characters
in
and
the
who they
back,
are?
though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everybody, we've got everybody, so.
So
If I stand up and
First-
do it, then everyone on the stream is going to
Core's
see
behind
like
you.
my crotch. So we're
He's
not
the
gonna
one
do
who
that.
has the lightsaber.
So go ahead.
I don't
Me.
mind being near the
Or-
front.
Then I'm behind him. I'm the guy with the gun there.
That one.
This one?
Nope.
Nope.
This
To the
one?
right.
That one.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Who's next?
Me?
Snowtrooper. Yes.
Snow Trooper.
Yep. Dash.
Yeah, Biggins,
Dash.
and then me and
Yep.
And I mean, Dart
Well-
bringing up the rear.
And being
Right.
in the middle,
Yep,
I
that's
could,
true.
Yeah,
You're good. Alright.
it's like a Congo line.
It is like a Congo
Of death.
line. Okay, so what we need to do is Cal going first?
Yeah,
Cal's gonna take point.
Okay.
and then Breeze between me and.
It's on.
That way, if they notice us, at least he'll be behind them.
Okay. All right. Cal, can you give me a stealth check?
Actually, sorry. That's how that's going.
Do we need a figure for Bree?
Yes. Where's Bree?
She's with us.
Breeze in front of him. In front of
Dark.
In front of.
yeah.
She'd be
She's
right
in
there.
front of. No, yeah.
Okay, so that's our line going down the hallways. Okay.
Dun, dun,
For
dun, dun,
advantage,
dun.
for success, and a triumph.
That's how you roll.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do while he's stealthing ahead?
I want to know what planet.
Yeah, I want to listen to the
existence
comms.
he just went to.
Remember the comm that we got? Let's listen. Let's listen in if we can.
I feel like that might give away our position.
No, if we're just listening.
What did you roll for your stealth again?
For success, for advantage, and a triumph.
Okay.
I want to listen, possibly for clicks. If the Mandalorians are using that Morse code, and then I also want to. I mean, I'm listening on the comms, but then I'm also listening for clicks.
You hear the clicking going back and forth. You hear another voice come in saying status report. Then you hear another voice come back in a language you don't recognize.
What language? What area?
Huh?
What?
Probably
is it outer rim,
Mandalorian.
underworld.
I'm going to fall back to Bree and ask her if she understands.
If it's
this.
underworld, I'd like to roll for it. I have a point in underworld.
That's-
I'll
that's
let you.
like
I'll
criminal-
let
that's
you use.
just criminal.
Yeah, I'll let you. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a general knowledge check.
General knowledge, I'm pretty
Yes,
good.
that would be.
Dash. Let Dash roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Bree
smart.
also does not
these
recognize
days.
this language. It is not a Mandalorian language.
What difficulty?
It's gonna be daunting with 3 setbacks.
Wow.
Whoa.
So no.
It's possible.
4, 2,
Can I
Mate,
help?
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It's daunting 2 setbacks. Sorry.
I have knowledge underworld that
Yeah.
removes the setback dice. Can I help him with
Yes,
that?
you can.
Good. Take back one of those black ones.
Cool.
Yeah. Use a dark side point if you want.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Fair enough.
Good
But
job.
it was
Good roll. He's brilliant.
Did he get it?
Yes.
Advantage.
It's a push with advantage.
All right.
Push with advantage.
It's a push with advantage. So basically, you don't recognize the language or what they're saying, but you have advantage. So that means you basically know something about it. And what you do know is in all of the galaxy, you don't believe that this is a language that's still being used. So we have a bookworm in all the millions of languages. It doesn't seem to be a dialect or a language that has been used. Is currently being used.
So
It
it's,
seems odd, out of
That's,
place.
and that's just
intentional.
on the communicator.
Yeah, someone's
No.
talking using like an old language,
Well, that's a-
basically.
that would be
It seems like an old language. Is the way we look at it.
Can I use Force Sense to do a perception check of what's in our immediate surroundings?
Absolutely, yeah. So he's gonna try to meditate while you're getting that to see if he can sense anything around.
you mean like ancient Mandalorian or something like that?
It's an ancient language. It just isn't. There's something about it that just feels old.
Right.
Okay.
Just 3.
So they're probably just talking in code.
Perception.
Yep.
Right. And then how many? What's the difficulty?
Oh no, you roll 4 dice.
4 dice. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Nope.
No, you're feeling kind of.
Wow. Our
Now
force
here's the
dice-
thing. If you want, you can flip a destiny point.
Not right
You
now.
see what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
The temptation. Give them all to me.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So you don't sense anything. You feel pretty at peace and calm. Your emotions are in check. It's just not what you need to be feeling right now. A little laid back. All right.
This is going too good.
This is going horribly.
Right. All right. So you stealthed ahead. You go down the corridor. As soon as you go down the corridor, you notice that the architecture changes. Where before it was like a Durasteel Mandalorian type building that we've seen before when y'all were on Keldab, which is the capital. Y'all go into this. This looks different. It's a different type of. It is still metal, but it's different. It's definitely a different design. You notice it immediately. It's like it went from like a grayish steel to like almost like a charcoal black, and it's still a metal, but it's different.
Does it look like they might be different ages or just different materials?
That's interesting. Why don't you make a knowledge check and see?
Oh boy.
It'll be hard.
What knowledge? Just straight knowledge?
Straight knowledge check.
Okay.
Can we ask Bookworm?
Huh?
Can we
He's
ask
the first one down.
Okay.
One disadvantage.
God, I don't know about
Yeah.
those.
So as you're looking at this,
Nice shade of black.
you don't really notice anything at all, and you also you don't notice that as you're looking at all this and everything. You stop for a second and like you heard something in the distance, and you're wondering, was that me? Did I echo something? Like you feel like maybe you made some sound and it echoed down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I'm right behind him, and
Okay.
I'm definitely keeping watch.
Okay.
And I don't really care about any of the
space dwarves,
Exactly.
whatever.
What I
Yeah.
care about is the enemy
Right.
and finding the
Missed that
point and
start.
finding the schematics.
Okay.
So based on what we're looking for, can I communicate with Typhus up above, or is communications jammed?
You can still. He's open.
Okay. All right. In that case, I'm relaying our location.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because we had discussed this,
Right.
and we were supposed to be.
So y'all are basically using an imperial code,
Right.
To go back and forth,
Yes.
in case anyone's listening,
Exactly.
to make it sound like it's just chatter.
Right.
Gotcha. And he sends back. So you haven't gone that far down, but
Right.
you're still in
Okay.
communication.
All right. So I'm going to be on the lookout, and if I see anything up in the distance, I want to shoot it.
I'd like to ask Bree, what is this place? Why is everything suddenly different?
She says that while it looks old, this was actually built not that long ago. But
Built made to look old.
it's not old. It's just different design. I'm not really sure why they built it like this, but it's interesting. It's this whole complex gets bigger as the further you go down. They built it out.
Really? Okay.
It's like
Alright.
an anthill.
Yeah, but it kind of is like it builds
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm looking and listening.
Okay.
I'm using my threat monitor and
So you have a threat
maybe-
monitor. Talk to me about this.
Absolutely.
So you've got something installed in your helmet that we just got.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
So basically, it gives a bonus on.
I know you have like an overlay in your helmet.
Right. Mostly, it's about targeting, and gives me a boost of vigilance and perception.
Okay. All right. So let's give me a perception check.
All right. So perception.
Average again.
Okay. In that case, it'll be-
So basically, you've stopped. You've made a sound. He's kind of moved ahead of you a little bit because it's
Yes. Success with advantage. One advantage.
success with advantage. All right. There's a sharp turn to the right, and you kind of look in there quickly and notice there's nobody in there. And you walk in, and it looks like it's some type of like. There's computer terminals and stuff in here, and it's empty. There's nobody here. Like this looks like somewhere someone should be, and it's empty.
Guys, Something's not adding up here. I've got a bad feeling.
Had to happen.
Yeah, I'm amazed it took this long, to be honest with you. Okay.
Yeah, things are very, very strange. Are there monitors or anything like that in this room? I want to make sure that we're not being seen on any monitors.
You look around, you don't see any monitors
I
or
mean,
anything.
I know that our suits are supposed to.
Yeah, your suits are blocking,
Scanners
scanners, things of that nature, sensors, but you don't see any like cams or anything
Okay,
like
all right,
that.
cool.
I'm
In that
gonna-
case,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna go check the computers.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna kind of usher everyone else forward.
Okay, so moving forward.
Yeah,
And
I don't
help.
want. When he says that, I don't want the
Help
party
forward.
split. I don't want the
Right.
group split.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
If you could set up a point and watch,
Yeah.
Bree, Dash, let's check these computers
Okay.
and see what we can see.
All right.
I'll watch the rear.
I will.
So with them,
Okay, so Darg's watching the rear. Who's in the rear as well?
I'm in the rear as well.
Okay.
So I'm wherever he is.
Dash is
Oh,
intelligence.
Where are you?
So we have a hallway,
Mhm.
a right hand turn, and a room.
Mhm. And the hallway continues going forward, and then there's another staircase going down.
Okay, I'll cover forward.
Okay.
Is the hallway long enough for me to break out my long rifle?
Yes, it is.
I will
So
cover
do you want to cover where you came from, or do you want to cover down?
Bantha will cover rear, and I'll cover.
You're going to
forward.
cover forward.
Perfect.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's me, but then that's Dash's intelligence. Would Bree give an additional bonus?
Yes. Yes. Should give just a boost.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, and what's the difficulty?
Average.
Good. Yes. Yes. 4 success, and that was a disadvantage. And
4 success. Okay.
and I've got 2 advantage. 4 success
Okay.
and 2 advantage.
You get on the comms, the communications array, and you also look that you've gotten through, and as you're going through it, and it's amazing how easy this is to open up, and you're actually into the database, and you start pulling through, and you're seeing like shipping manifest records, like they're right now, it looks like they're in the process of acquiring the materials to build a lot of things, not just what y'all are looking for, but
Right.
they're buying arms, ammunition, they're buying troops, mercenaries. I mean, they are stocking up.
I'll pull in all this data.
Okay,
gonna
so you
pull
pull
it
it all
all.
onto the data pad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What did you get? You got 4 success.
4 success and 2 advantage.
All right. As you're downloading all of that as well, you look and you find the schematics. They're right there.
All right.
They need a password.
Done.
Right. I mean,
Let's
you
guess.
basically slice right through it. So I mean, it's super easy.
All right. What else is going on in this base? Obviously, this is the main.
I mean, you're
Facility.
looking around. You're not seeing much of anything else going on. You see the schematics of this place, like you're breaking down. You see the map, and it's almost built like an upside down triangle.
Okay.
Is how it's like it starts top and then it goes wide and then it goes like this down
Almost
the
like
bottom.
a destroyer, like a star destroyer.
It's almost like an upside down like pyramid in a way.
Interesting. What else is in this facility? Can I see anything? Like, is anything labeled in terms of different rooms?
No. It
What's on the
is, but you don't recognize what it's saying. You can roll for it.
I'm gonna.
You want to roll
actually-
on knowledge
yeah.
to see if you can kind of decipher what it's
Yeah,
saying.
and actually, I'm gonna ask him. You get lore, or knowledge history, or anything like that?
Warfare.
And
No.
also, no, I'm thinking more like a lore, or actually Jedi stuff. This is a look. This looks like an upside down pyramid or
Outer
a
Rim and
temple.
Underworld. I mean, unless DM says so.
Anybody have like I mean, it looks like a temple of some kind, and I don't know much about Mandalorian history. Anybody? Revan
Bree
say
is
anything about
totally has no idea. Like when she sees it, she goes, "That is odd." She goes, "Mandalorians don't build like that." I mean, we build underground, but not like that. That makes no sense.
Right, this is like a temple or something. All right, I'll do some kind of a random check.
Okay, so it's a knowledge check. Is anybody helping, boosting anything?
Knowledge education. Could I go with like?
I'll let you use that. Yeah.
Sweet. All
I
right.
can help.
All right, so you've got an intellect of 4, so you can use 4 dice from him.
Perfect. And
Is-
I've got 1 rank in education.
All right, so it's daunting with 2 setbacks.
Can we maybe get CZ on the comms and see if he would be able to?
No, he's not in the sector.
Daunting
You
is 4.
could, but
5.
that's you run the risk of someone
Daunting's
picking it
4.
up.
Daunting's 4.
Yeah, and then 2 setbacks.
2 setbacks. Jeez.
Yikes.
That's pretty hard.
Any movement in the hallway?
None. Silence.
That
Dead.
Jedi doesn't have lore.
Do you want to flip a destiny point?
No. We need that. Psh, I I don't need a destiny point. Huzzah!
No way.
Check this out. Wiped away. Wiped away.
No way.
You're right. No way. Damn it. Push with 2 disadvantage.
Oh, so close.
So close.
So
Ah.
close.
Just if you use that destiny.
Yeah, you might have gotten it. You're looking and you don't decipher what it is, and as you're looking, you quickly notice that your presence has been noticed in the system.
Great.
I get on the horn. I call in Wrath
I was about to say.
or
Wraith.
Wraith,
Yeah.
and I tell them that our presence has been noticed, and we're probably going to need cavalry.
Wait a minute.
In
before
the
you-
system or in the
No.
complex? Because
Huh?
those are two very different
Yeah.
things.
Oh.
In
What
the
now?
system,
In
like
the
in the,
system
in the
or
star
complex?
system?
No,
Or
the
complex?
computer, the system. Like
Okay, gotcha.
basically, you're looking through the computer and you can see.
Right.
I'm not going to use a tech term because Kyle's going to jump all over our resident IT.
Okay.
Star
Feedback
Wars.
tree
Insert
shit.
Star Wars term here.
You
Yes.
can use Star Wars.
set off
terms.
the
No, no,
idea.
it's
So
all
it's
good.
an active terminal.
It's
Basically,
an active
the terminal
terminal,
is active.
and you can see that somebody has seen your presence.
High drive, yes.
All right.
I'm surrounded by AT guys, so I'm a little nervous.
Do we want to check this place out? Because this is a very unusual
Not now.
structure.
We
We
got
have
we got
accomplished
what we
our
came
mission.
We got
for.
what we came for.
Let's roll.
And a lot of additional intelligence.
That's true.
And they're going to bomb the place.
That's true. Are they going to penetrate all the way down?
They're going to bomb the place.
Anybody have any thermal detonators on them?
I do.
Of
We have
course.
those mines too. We could
Oh,
leave those
yeah.
behind us.
The mines.
Can
It's a pretty big building. You would need.
Yeah.
The demolitions expert would know. If y'all want to try to do that, y'all could. Oops. Sorry.
I say we leave and let them just bomb the place.
What you want to? Dude, it's a temple.
We got what we came for.
It's a simple. My
It's a temple in a finale game.
Yeah.
Come on!
My duty is to keep Dak
It's a-
alive, and if Dak wishes to stay, then I'll stay. And he
It's a
wishes to go,
temple.
I'll go.
Finale game.
I think we need to roll. This is.
Oh, it's like. Oh
If
my
we were
God.
gonna-
It's a Star Wars dungeon crawl. We've already got what we
Yes.
need.
Come
Could
on.
we leave?
How often do you get to go on a dungeon crawl in
Remember what
Star
happened
Wars?
the last time we did a dungeon crawl?
Yes, and it was epic. Let's do this.
Y'all have what you came for. So what's it gonna be?
I mean, I already called Wraith.
Y'all were talking about this.
Let's go.
The commanding officer's
All right, you
like,
know what?
I don't know what the debate is.
Is there an elevator or something?
got
like that?
orders.
Can
There
we
is
go?
a turbo lift if
There's
you
a
want to
tur-
go down.
Yeah. Okay. So like, if we just like get
What
like
are we gonna
2
go
minutes,
down?
or give us like 10 minutes. How about 15 minutes to explore? Right, 15-minute extraction.
15 minutes. 30 minutes. I swear
No,
we're
no,
down
15, just
45
15.
minutes.
An hour
Just an
max.
hour, like 2 hours tops, guys.
How long till the bombers get here?
Huh?
How long till the bombers get here?
Everything is en route. Like they were hanging on the
We
edge of
gotta
the system.
Time to get out.
Like,
Give us 5 minutes.
We don't have. We don't.
5
have,
minutes.
We don't have 5
You
minutes.
can stay if
5
you want.
minutes.
Give me that.
and the party split.
And your lightsaber.
No.
All
Come
right.
on.
As much as I want to stay and explore this place, which
Yes,
I want to find out what secrets this place holds. If Dak wants to leave, I'm going.
Something
with him.
doesn't feel right.
Why don't you check it? Maybe I missed something. Check the place.
Check for what?
The temple.
We really need to get going though.
Maybe you can
Yeah.
find something. Maybe you
Can I
can find
tell
something.
if
The fleet is coming.
Can I
Kate's
just
like,
see if this special wall would be invincible to what oncoming is coming?
You want to kind of look at the metal and see if you know anything about it? Okay. Yeah. Give me a knowledge check. It's just going to be daunting. I'll take the setbacks off.
only daunting.
Only daunting. So 4.
Would warfare help?
I have
Or
two.
education.
I have
Do you have a rank in education?
I
No,
do.
warfare.
I
You
have,
do.
Yeah.
You can use his, so y'all can.
I have
Yeah.
2 points in warfare.
No,
No.
it's going to be education. All right.
And I do know about chemicals and minerals, especially when I
Education.
started doing my research.
This is true. All right. So y'all are going to kind of look at the
Yeah.
infrastructure itself.
Ooh.
That is.
A no.
That's bad.
Well,
That pushes.
nope.
It's some disadvantage. Wait, that was a.
Yeah,
That was canceled.
Doesn't look
Yeah.
good. That's a lot of paint on the purple.
2 disadvantage.
Too advanced. Yeah, it's just not. You're not really putting it together at all. It just and as y'all are sitting there looking at this and
You're supposed to use a
everything.
destiny point.
We only have.
Can I
Yeah.
do?
That's okay.
So
Can
yeah,
I
4.
do
No, not anymore.
force sense, but
It's
not
6-2
for,
right now.
Not
Oh,
for
it is?
Yeah,
people,
6-2.
but
Huh?
like to see if the force is strong with this place? Can I do a force sense with that? See if I can sense, like,
I'll let you do a force sense if you just want to. While everyone's trying to figure this out.
I want to see if like the force is strong with this place.
Okay.
Nope.
No, you just feel like you can
flip-
feel calm.
you
You're
can
like,
flip
man,
Destiny points.
there's just something.
Do you want me to flip a destiny point?
You're
He
in.
wants us to.
We've got
I
two.
really want you to flip Destiny points.
I
I want them
really
all. Got to catch them all.
Let's just do the turbo lift. Really, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes down and 5
We
minutes.
have to,
Yeah, at least.
Nothing takes
Let's
5
go.
minutes.
like the bombers aren't going to give us 5 minutes when they get here.
We get more like 5 seconds.
Let's go.
Like we could
There's
go
Oh,
only
there.
it's
nobody's
killing Bob.
I know.
Trust me, Bob, he's killing me, but at the same
It's
time,
basically the
It's
Star
gonna
Wars
kill
Tomb
us
of
all.
Annihilation. He's like,
Yeah,
I want to go.
exactly.
I want to go. All
trust
right.
me, I want to.
It's the finale game, guys. Come on. He
Yeah.
made a dungeon for us.
Did I?
But it's not time
to stop role-playing our characters
You're right. All right, fair enough. Mission
Player me
accomplished.
wants
Mission
to go down.
accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Mission
player
accomplished.
wants to go
down.
Okay.
Cal does not.
There's no way that we get out without something
We're mission
going
focused.
horribly wrong.
Mission focused.
This is
It's
very
all about the
ISB
dice.
agent of you.
We're mission focused. We're going.
Mission focused. You
Mission
just-
focused. We're leaving.
Yeah.
Alright.
The loot was just like it could be anything. It could be a boat. All right.
What's in the box?
All right, so you guys extract. Y'all start pulling out, and you're obviously torn. And you see that Bree is confused. Like, she's looking at this, it's like, I was here before. I never really put the thought into it. It looks odd. Like, she's
Yes.
confirming, like, this
Yes.
place looks odd. And
Have her look while we're. I'm going to set up an.
I'll have her look.
Thank you.
Y'all want her to flip a destiny point?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no.
Show of
Yes.
hands is it's a democracy. 1 for destiny point.
We need
6 nays.
Come on.
Okay, hang on, I'll roll.
We're going to get him back the hard way.
Yeah.
I thought that was what you did.
Exactly. We're hardcore.
The Hardington
She
way.
got it.
That's right.
She got it?
Yes.
She got it.
Who needs
Ah,
Destiny?
so glad she came.
You were standing there, and she's like, "Is this?" And y'all kind of going back and forth thinking, and she looks at it and she goes, "Okay, this is bad."
It's bad how?
She is. This is a ziggurat. I know what this is.
A ziggurat. Ziggurat?
Yeah, like Dathomir ziggurat.
A Dathomir ziggurat, which means
At a game, I don't like anything from Dathomir.
you don't. I would think that you would love it.
It's
Okay.
great. It's great. You want to build summer homes in Dathomir.
Yes,
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
The wildlife is incredible.
The women there are just beautiful.
The women there are.
All right.
There's this really good-looking redhead.
All right, so we pulled the intel. A Dathomir ziggurat. There's definitely more intel here worth salvaging. Just
But we're about to bomb it.
5 minutes.
We'll have to come back.
Wait,
it's not like the
Yeah,
bombs are going to
baby.
penetrate the entire complex.
Why don't you go ahead and notify Lord Revan since she's up above and she can make that call.
What's her name? Valen.
Varen.
Varen.
Lord,
Varen.
Lord Revan. That's why.
Yeah. Dear Revan, help.
Yeah.
Notify Lord
Foreshadowing.
Varen since she's in system and she can make that call.
Yeah, if she's in system, if we can open up a line of communication to her.
Okay.
She's flying. She's leading Sapphire.
Give me
Exactly.
give me a computer
that's
check.
right.
That would be me.
She's
With
leading-
assistance.
Sure.
It's acquired.
Yes. And what's my difficulty? 2?
Average.
Good.
1 setback.
1 setback.
You're trying to send the message out, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
She's leading Sapphire Squad. She's
Yeah.
here.
But we got to get it out encrypted and undetected,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
lest all of Deathwatch
She's
come down upon us.
What you got?
3 success.
Okay.
3
All right.
success. All right. 3 success to get that message out to Lord Varen, letting her know that we've retrieved the data, plus additional information that she'll find very useful. That's worth going through. In addition, we discovered that this is a Dathomir ziggurat, and we request permission to explore further.
All right. So you send this message, and voice comes back over the comms, and you hear a female say, "Message received. I'm coming for you." It's not Lord Varen.
Do we recognize the voice?
No. Oh man, look what just came
Oh my god, the timing.
What are the odds?
The timing.
What are the odds?
It's like a duel of the fates or something.
We're
Message
leaving.
received. I'm coming for you.
Yeah. It sounded
Yeah,
intimidating.
All right. Time to go.
Outta here.
Remember those stairs on the way up?
Yeah.
As everybody's leaving, that's where I'm setting my anti-personnel mines.
Okay. All right. Quick mechanics check. You're familiar with it. It's just simple. I just want to make sure you don't, or easy.
Yep.
Just make sure you don't do anything really stupid, like blow up your face.
Perfect.
Want to use the destiny point?
I think I got this.
I failed that before.
I got this.
Tanner?
Holy crap, I got this. Jeez, I got this. Okay. I got this so hard. Alright, I got 3 success, 4 advantage.
Okay. All right. So you set those things up. You basically, do you want it on a? You don't want it on a timer. Do you want it on proximity, or do you want to click it?
I want it proximity. When
Proximity.
somebody comes up.
All right. So
after us.
everybody else goes, and he's like, and he hits the buttons and backs up.
Yep.
Okay. So I like that. So, all right.
Very
All right,
good.
so you guys exit
Yep.
into back onto Concordia as you're waiting for the shuttle to come pick you guys up.
Quick
There's a landing zone close to where you guys came in initially. Yes.
Quick perception. Make sure our landing zone is still secure.
Yes. Give me a perception check.
We're still in that. We're in that ravine, right? I imagine.
Well, y'all are coming out of
Yeah.
the.
Forced into this force
What's
wheeler.
the
call.
Yes.
What's the difficulty, and can I use my rifle?
It's gonna be hard,
Okay.
and you use your rifle.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Yes.
That's nice.
No, it doesn't look nice.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, it's a success.
One success,
What counts?
1 disadvantage. 2 disadvantage. Sorry, 1 success, 2 disadvantage.
Say it one more time.
1 success, 2 disadvantage.
Okay. All right. You scan over the horizon. You don't see anything. You do see the speeder that's like basically like rammed up on the side of a crater, like stopped. In the distance, you see that. But you look through. I mean, you see Concordia. It's a devastated.
So our
It looks
LZ
clear.
is secure.
It looks like it's secure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass that information along and suggest we set up a perimeter anyway.
Okay. So you guys come piling out. As you guys are coming out, so you were first out for the scope, right?
Yeah.
So you pop out. You're looking around. Everyone else comes out. Who is last out?
I am.
You're not, because you set the charges. All right.
Yes.
So you set the charges. You come out. As soon as you come out, the door closes, locks, blast door comes down.
We'll get back on.
Y'all
that.
turn around and look and go, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And
give
with
it a
that,
go.
we're gonna take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
So,
no.
That's afterwards.
yes. So we're gonna take a quick break. I need to set the last scene up
Got it.
for our finale.
Oh
Okay.
god.
And the amount of stuff that y'all failed and missed is going to make this hilarious. Okay, so everybody give me about 5 minutes to set up the scene. We're going to adjust the cameras real quick. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Dathomir Ziggurat. Screw it! Blow it up!
We failed so hard on so many things.
Man.
I missed 3 force checks before I finally made the one that I think counts.
The last
All right,
time
I
we
need
were
everybody's
in-
help real quick if you can.
So,
Yeah.
what's a ziggurat?
It's a
Alright, so
pyramid.
if you
It's
can,
like a pyramid.
move the ships onto the
Okay,
black
what's a
part of the
Okay.
table. All the
Dathomir
ships.
is-
This way too, or
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, keep the
horrible,
bombers together. Keep that.
I just don't know
keep
any.
this
Lots
off
of
here.
people really mean that they kill things.
I'm gonna fold this back.
Mostly
There's
sit
a really
on-
nice looking redhead though.
red and blackhead, right?
I'm gonna go to the restroom.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm about to as well.
I'm trying to remember who you're referencing.
That's the leader of the Dathomir witches.
She was red.
Yeah. No, one of the Dathomir witches had red hair. I thought they were all tall.
Because
I kind of got the feeling it was a headdress, but it was like,
her name. I'm rewatching. I'm watching Clone Wars for the first time now. And
Okay.
It looks like hair, but I think it's a headdress.
no, because Adventurous was
She was a sister.
yeah.
But the way they animated it looks very much like.
Dungeon crawl.
I don't know her name. But look her up.
Just search for Night Witches, Star Wars Night Witches. How much did we miss on a scale of 1 to everything?
Everything.
Damn.
It's okay.
Did you actually have a dungeon crawl plan for us?
Of course, I had 2 different routes. Had a couple actually.
Trevor, you're my favorite.
dual wielding doesn't work with me.
You have to advantages for your second strike.
Okay, so what if I can still hold both though, right?
Right.
Okay. That's because that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a headdress of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right.
Yeah.
We feel hard.
Yeah.
Was me missing those checks important?
Huh?
Did me missing those force checks, is that important?
Yeah, it was.
I knew it was. But I at least made one, right?
Right.
Is that camera to be moved back?
Yeah, I'm gonna change it. Just a second.
Oh man. Here, you can be on the camera and I will help pull this back.
Everybody having a good time?
Oh yeah.
Well, for now.
All right.
Lauren wanted me to tell everyone that she
All right.
enjoyed meeting everyone, but had to go feed the dog.
Well,
She's watching from home currently.
oh, good.
All right, pull him back a little
Her
bit.
dog does not do well if he does not get fed early.
Whalers.
Can I get a book from over there?
I feel like as he's
Or
getting
to
older,
put
he
him
needs to be
back
really
in this.
early.
Just give me 1 second. We're gonna
What's
play
that?
with that.
What's
together.
that bluebird special, man? Or early bird special?
Spoiled dogs. I don't know if you saw it. Looks like we're going to be pushing 80 this week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I
Mitch
saw
is
that.
busy Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
What happened?
Lauren's out of town though, so you're going to play X-Wing.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Have either of you ever been to Giga Cafe?
Ooh.
Yes, I've been to yeah.
I've gone.
Weird.
That's
We
supposed to be
went
for
that one
Legacy,
time.
right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
How is
We
it?
played Legacy. It's alright. What's that?
I mean, it was good for Magic Tournament.
Yeah. That's
The
the
food
one.
was
I've
alright?
only been there once.
Okay.
Yeah, the wrap I got was pretty good.
Yeah.
What's that?
Gigabytes Cafe. It's a gaming store
It's
slash
funny how far behind this is.
small cafe up in like Marietta.
Check it out.
I'm
It
not
became a little bit of
surprised
a trek for
because
me to a big trek.
4
Yeah.
cameras.
It's on the
That's
other
pretty
side
good,
of the
actually,
moon.
Trevor.
So
Yeah.
Marietta?
yeah,
Marietta's not that far.
I live in Stillwater.
Oh my.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
no.
it's kind of far.
I don't know. Okay.
Oh, we done goofed.
Hey. Oh hi. TD.
Touchdown.
No, thermal detonator. How's your arm?
See,
what
Oh, you
is
said it
going
RLC was
on?
secure.
You were looking
I
past the
didn't see.
spell.
I was gonna tell him to say ask Wraith if he saw anything.
That would be good. Why didn't you say that?
He already called Wraith, and so I figured Wraith knew.
Why didn't you say
Hopefully it's 2 different factions.
These are Empire, right?
Yeah.
So we're It's not almost like support. they knew we were coming. Almost.
It
We
was
have
a
your
trap.
sister.
It's a trap.
Really? Who here didn't expect it was a trap? Who here expected it was a trap? Good, we've all watched Star Wars.
I'm missing one of
Well,
the important
almost.
ones here.
I've
shit.
seen some
Red
Star
Saber?
Wars movies. I've seen the original 6,
Good.
The
Congratulations.
original 6.
Yeah.
the first 6.
Wait
First
a minute.
6,
Yeah.
Wait a second.
I was giving you a hard time.
4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3.
Yes. And what
Not
about
in that
7 and
order.
8? What about 7 and 8?
Huh?
What about 7 and 8? Wow. Okay.
I've seen about half of one of them.
Wow.
So you've got a
We
pretty
watched
good
Rogue
angle
One
from
for
actually
like
this
8
camera to my
times.
right on the battlefield.
It's gotten to the point where we don't know what to
Yeah,
watch
but that's
on Netflix.
zoomed
It's
out.
on
It's
Rogue
zoomed in. It
One.
needs to be zoomed
Rogue
out.
One goes
You have
out.
to zoom it out, Trevor.
Yeah.
No, pull it back. Just zoom it out.
Yeah. Noticeable lack of cover.
Well, I
Good
mean,
luck,
Well,
buddy.
now it's not as good.
Good news.
I'm working on it. Just
You see the
y'all
guys
are
we
lagging.
get to kill. Scope.
Y'all are lagging.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
It looks
Okay?
pretty good.
Okay.
I've got an axe.
That's true. You got an axe.
Watch Firefly.
Yeah.
Like
So
an
good.
episode.
Okay.
I think I've
the
seen
first
that
episode.
Yeah.
The first episode is long.
Yes.
It's like an
Yeah.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
I
Make
will
you
admit
flex.
it's kind of a trudge, but it's so good. Firefly is.
I heard it's just gonna make me hate
Cows,
Fox.
years and years away.
Yes.
You
Your
don't
words.
already hate Fox.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Fox.
Okay.
Just hate Fox. It's
Fo-
okay.
Yeah, because it's a great series, and the fact that Fox canceled it is just ridiculous.
Which
I
series
can't
are we
believe
talking
Fox
about?
canceled Firefly.
Well, it was on
Never
against,
seen
like,
it.
American Idol, so it wasn't really good
Okay.
ratings.
Yeah. That's Fox's.
All right, everyone, bend over.
All right, so
And we're
we're back after a quick bathroom break. We're gonna get started here in just a second.
what? The hell
So
is
back
happening?
up just half a second. So you guys came through this. It looked totally open, wasteland, craters. You go up. You're looking through. You see nothing at all. Okay. You come up. Doors come down. Blast door comes down, and then all of a sudden,
It's a trap!
it's a trap. You look, and where you didn't see anybody, it's almost like a fog is lifted, but it's not an actual fog. They just appear, and then the first thing you see movement, but then you start seeing the ignition of red lightsabers coming around. The first one you see is directly ahead. You see a woman in black and purple robes igniting saber. You also see one to your left, as you see a couple of Mandalorians, and you see another cloaked individual with a saber. Behind you, to your right, you hear as two people behind you also have sabers.
Shit.
And you're looking, and you can't. 25, 26 people. Y'all are completely surrounded and trapped. It's as if they knew you were coming.
Yes.
Oh, who would have thunk it?
And
Yeah, who'd have thought it?
Huh?
Dice did what?
Huh?
What did this do?
Right. So as you look around, you sense immediately, like you just feel the presence, and you count numbers immediately. And your presence, you look back and you see that there's 3 above you on the where y'all just came out of. Like y'all, it's almost like y'all walked by.
Is one of them Bree?
Huh?
Is one of them?
No,
No,
Bree
she's
is
with
with
us.
you.
Okay.
Bree is with you.
What's your character?
That her brother,
one of
that her
them
brother
typhus?
betrays?
Caitlin.
You
They
said
knew
you
you were
have-
coming here,
What'd you
but
roll
it's
for?
y'all walked into
The
It's
biggest
a woman
trap.
trap.
The
the
biggest
finale of
trap.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
Is one of
Kid.
them typhus?
Huh? No.
Hey, Trevor, I want to open up my concealment holster,
Okay.
pull out Lord Varys' lightsaber, and hand it to Kaylin and be like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think we're
like,
gonna
yeah,
need
alright.
this.
So you've been holding on to that for like you're gonna take this. You'll
Wait,
need it.
Yeah.
You already have your lightsaber and your sword, right?
Yeah,
Now he has.
You have 3?
I prefer 2 lightsabers, but if you can you do it though?
Of course I can do 2 lightsabers.
This is painful.
He's fully specified the lightsaber.
So alright,
He's fully spec'd.
we're gonna move quickly. I will say your fighting style is a single saber
That's
style.
fine. That's fine. Go
His
ahead.
style can
Alright.
kind of go both ways. Makashi's a little bit different.
That's fine. Go ahead.
So
Either way, that's very cool.
yeah. So
I'm gonna lean over to Core, like
Thanks.
as subtly as I can. I'm gonna say, transmit what you downloaded.
Yep.
That is the mission.
Yes.
okay.
Transmit what you downloaded.
All right. So you started. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we need to do is I need everybody
Initiative.
to roll
Vigilance.
vigilance.
Yes!
Okay.
You wanna start?
So
Go out
for
and
you're watching
roll.
for initiative, if there's 2 ways to roll. If it's cool, is a skill that you have. If you know that you're going into battle, they don't, so they have to roll vigilance. So it's a little bit different. So everyone roll around. Initiative for this system is a lot different.
Good.
They're basically going to be rolling for
What
initiative slots.
Just remember what
I
you
will
rolled
also be
until he
rolling for the
gets-
group. And if you're looking at, oh man, this combat's going to be long and
Okay,
take hours,
so what was it?
the Star Wars system is amazing for handling very big combat systems. It will go much quicker than you think. Just give us a second to figure out initiative. So everybody roll around real quick. I'm going to roll 2.
Especially once we start waiting.
Yeah.
What's your upload speed on that data pad?
What was that?
Oh
3
wow.
and 2.
Yeah,
that good?
nice roll. 3 hits, 2 advantage.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're going to quickly around the table real quick. We're taking note. We're going to figure out what the slots are.
3 hits, 3 advantage. Yeah.
Good job.
Mm.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I forgot what I rolled.
Will, right?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
That's what it gets. Yep.
That is nice.
remember, as long as you're within short range of me.
4
you-
hits.
Nice!
If you take cover, you get 1 extra soak as long as you're within short range of me. And if you miss an ally with a on a failed combat
4
check,
hits. And
4 hits, 1 advantage.
you can spend
Okay.
an advantage to add
Way
a
to
stream
beat
to
me.
them.
What did you have?
Okay.
He had 4 hits.
4 hits.
Oh, you're keeping track?
Yeah. He's got it.
Oh, cool.
4 hits, 1 advantage.
Yeah.
I had 1 hit.
I
That's it. My rolls have been dog
Just give us 1 second. This is going to move really fast as soon as we get initiative check out. Yes. All right. So for me, so you've got the good guy slots for the bad guy slots.
Yep.
I have 4 hits and an advantage. The tie will go to you.
All right.
So put me right behind your first slot. I also have a hit, a triumph, and an advantage. So that's going to be ahead of a 2-1. So, but not as good as a 3, if that makes sense.
Not as good as our 4.
No. So it kind of counts as 2 hits, 2 advantage.
Good.
Okay, so hold on. And that's how many hits?
To do 2 and 2.
Okay, I got a couple
Does
3
it
hits first.
Beat a
Okay.
2 and
Let's
2?
put that in there.
No.
So
Uh,
then
Yeah. So then
you and then us
See
on
what
the
it
2 and
is.
2.
Right. I also
See,
have
put it
one
in
at
the
3 and 2.
Oh, you're on.
Art without feeling it now.
Hold on.
Did I mess you up?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude, just write his down here.
All right, so a 4 and a 1. What
Mhm.
else?
2 and 2.
A 2 and a 2, and then a 3 and a 2.
3 and 2.
So just the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and then the last one, 5-1.
Goodness.
That's better.
Goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So it'd be
Boss.
us.
There is a boss.
That fellow?
Yeah,
Or she?
that her.
Is she old? Ear strikes then.
Is
Is
she
she
old?
old?
Oh wait, I need to roll for Bree.
Close support
Hang
for
on.
Mom.
Yeah.
Actually, let's have Bree go on. She's been with you the whole night,
Yes.
right? So she go with Dak. So whenever Dak goes, Bree will go as well.
Okay. So she's just attached to my turn.
Yeah, she'll be attached to your turn. So when you go, she goes.
I have an
You
escort
and me.
mission.
So do I. Funny how that goes. I'm escorting the guy.
The escort of the escort, right?
Good knowing you guys.
All right.
All right.
Finish up my water bottle.
Guys, I'm also going to need you to be
Yeah. If you got
flexible next week because we might have a Wallace session. And if we do, then we'll put that money towards.
Okay.
Might have a what?
Yeah.
We'll talk
Wallace
later.
session.
We'll talk later after game.
Yep.
We're
We just
finishing
got the
up.
text.
We're gonna
Yes.
finish it up pretty quick here.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's break it down.
Break it down now.
Good music.
There we go. All right. So we're gonna go through initiative slots, and we basically get to tactically choose who gets to go where. Unlike other systems where you're kind of static, we have slots we're gonna go down. So we're gonna have basically good guy, bad guy slots. So who starts? I think I got the first one. So one of my groups or one of my people get to go first. All right. That is going to be.
Kind of glad he gets to go first so he can see what he's doing.
Okay. My communications guys, these 2 guys in the back.
These here?
Yes. One guy is sending up a message. You can see him pulling out like a comm. He's got like a backpack comm. He's sending up a message. The other guy there is going to move off to the side, move it closer to him, and he's trying to line up a shot at the medic. So he's going to pull out the long gun and take a shot.
Trying to take out our medic.
All right. What? Now you have Shadow Scout armor, so that gives me. You got an armor.
Yep.
He's got a range. Okay. I'm gonna roll. Do y'all want to use? Actually, I'm active. Flip a destiny point.
Yep.
I'll be taking a bonus here.
Okay. We get a destiny point.
We
back.
knew ye well.
Oh, he'll be fine. And he can boost himself. Actually, if he goes us,
I
he
got
can
4
do it.
hits.
Woof.
So as soon as everything comes out, y'all see all this going around. He takes. You see communication, and then shot comes across. Take 13.
I'm out.
So 13. Now, hang on.
Oh,
Minus
soak.
soak. Minus soak.
I'm good.
I'm good. It's not that bad.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. No, you're not fine. You just got shot. So you take the shot. You're blasted back. You're falling backwards as you're still yeah. So that's my first. Now who goes next?
Us.
We've got a turn. Who wants to take it?
Is using a comm an action or a maneuver?
It's an incidental, but it happens on your turn.
Call in Sapphire Squadron.
Okay.
Field commander action.
Yes. Okay. Go for
Excellent.
it.
As a maneuver, I'd like to go ahead and upload the information from the data pad.
Okay. Hang on. Pause for a second.
Okay.
We got to go through the turn. So he's first. Let me finish him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Finish
He's
him.
got to roll
Okay.
first.
So let's say you're going to. He's basically our squad commander. He's going to make a maneuverability check, basically to kind of tell everybody what we're doing. So first he's going to roll to see if he is successful in this.
Did it? Yes. maybe.
2 advantage. No, 1 advantage.
Okay, all right. I will give you a free. There's the chaos of what's going on. Everyone's kind of freaking out. They're not hearing what you're saying, but you do get a free maneuver. That's
Okay.
the advantage. So if you want to move somewhere, you can.
Yeah, I will move over to this little crook, that 90-degree angle in the right.
Okay, so whoever's closer is going to have to help me. I don't want to do the movement.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He's the off-white one. There.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
More toward Bob. Yeah,
Yeah.
like right
No, Bob, more towards Bob in the back.
I'm in the back.
No.
No, right
Right
where
where he is.
Okay, all right, so you're going to move there. Okay,
Yep.
so that's
Cover?
one maneuver. You do have a second.
Cover?
Yes.
That's a bonus, but you have a second maneuver. Do you want to do something else? Aim, take cover.
Aim at this lightsaber wielder.
The one on the rock,
Yes.
the big one. Okay, all right. So you take out your
The
pistol
one-
and aim. Okay,
The one that's blatantly out in the open.
right.
Yeah.
She doesn't
I'm
care.
gonna
Yeah.
block
She's
it
like,
with
I
that.
don't need cover.
Yeah.
Ping.
Exactly.
Who's up? Who's next? Who's on the initiative list? Who's going next? Me. Yay! All right.
It would have been cool.
These two are gonna jump down,
Of course they are.
and they're both going to lightsabers out, go after the obvious threat. It has 2 sabers now. So Tanner Kalen, he's got a red saber, a yellow saber.
No,
so he's
purple.
Purple. That's right. It's purple and
Yes.
yellow. He's got a purple saber. He's got the yellow saber. All right. So
No,
against you,
purple and red.
Yeah,
Bob
purple
has
and red.
yellow
Remember, he's
saber.
got 2 real
No,
ones.
yellow's
you've got a red one.
I have mine. He has.
I have a
It's
purple
yellow.
for him,
Bob-
Dude,
yellow
hers
for
was
me.
yellow.
Yeah, you weren't there. for
Oh,
that thing.
okay.
It's yellow, so it's yellow and purple. Okay.
Pretty cool
All right,
So
Lakers.
so they both come down with their red sabers. What is my defense against you? I know it's 2, and then you get
Okay.
setback, and then what else? Because I know you've got all kinds of stuff going on.
I'm gonna be honest.
I need okay.
What's your parry? What's your
I
parry?
Well,
have-
parry
Um,
is
one,
if I hit him, then he gets to do that.
2 parry.
That's the important thing because you're about to hit him.
Yes.
I may not though. So let me see.
Okay.
All right, what you got real quick?
So you can reduce damage after your hit.
Yeah.
Right, you can use strain.
Yep.
Pick out.
Yeah, but
Damn,
that's
they either
incidental. Right
rebel
now,
or-
your defense is 1 at least.
Right.
Yeah, my melee defense is 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
2. There you go. All right,
Sorry.
that's what I need. Okay.
Remember that thing Trevor said?
All right. So I am going to hit. So now is the chance where you get to parry and reduce that. So
Yeah,
how much?
parry.
I think you've got 2 ranks of parry.
Yes, I have 2 ranks.
And then you can use your presence,
Yes.
which is 4. So basically, you can take strain damage instead of the wound to basically parry the attack. So what you're going to do is you use your presence, which is 4.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you also take how many ranks of parry do you have?
I have
2.
2.
2. So you get to
And
reduce.
then I have improved parry. I don't know if that
What does improved parry do?
Improved parry when parrying a hit that generated disadvantage or a whatever the crit failure.
How many
is.
disadvantages?
3.
No, I didn't do that. Okay.
I can't find this.
All right. So basically, you can take 2 strain.
Okay.
And instead of me doing 7 damage, I'm going to do 1. So you can take
Okay.
1 wound, and you can take 2 strain.
Sounds good to me.
So you parry the attack. It does kind of
Nick me.
nick your arm a little bit, but instead of like maybe taking your arm, it nicks your arm.
Gotcha.
So that's the first attack. The second attack comes down, and all right. This is so when that hits you, the other attack comes, and you see him just flip his wrist and push off to the side. This one spins around away, and anybody taking an action against this person is going to get an advantage. So he basically just flung her off
Nice.
using and I just
How
stood up
much
in front of the camera.
disadvantaged?
Huh? Yeah, he'll basically get a boost.
Because
And he-
improved parry, I get to attack him.
it was 2.
Okay.
No? Okay. All right, so you spin her around. She flips around and looks back. So anyone attacking her is going to get a boost. That's me. Who's next on the
We've got 3 slots.
I need to go.
So it's all
That
of
doesn't
y'all.
matter.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So if I can't attack her without being attacked by the one directly to my right, correct?
You can easily sidestep
Okay. That's
because
what
you
I'm-
parried her, so you can basically just kind of shift your body.
Yeah.
If you,
Shift, then I'm attacking her.
the one that you can get. All right, so make your
dice.
I cannot find this.
okay.
Manta.
I need
That's
that.
great.
Oh my bad.
You're good.
The bigger they are.
Oh,
That's in your soldier book, right?
yeah.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Duelist training. Can I add a blue? Add a melee.
That's for taking down really big vehicles or big threats. So I don't know if it's going to come into play, but read it anyway. Just read it anyway. Bob can kind of help you with it.
What's your
Duelist training. Can I add a blue to melee and lightsaber checks when engaged with only one opponent?
No, because you've got to.
Cool. Fair enough. All right.
Are you heavy?
Yeah.
4 hit, 2 advantage.
What are we doing? Sorry.
4 hit, 2 advantage. On
4 hit, 2
on her.
advantage. Oh, no, hang on. You
what's
gotta
his-
roll. You gotta roll 2. Roll 2. purple and then 2 blue, black set white guys. 2 black
And
guys.
what's my advantage for attacking her?
Yeah.
Where they are.
Yeah.
And a
Pretty sure
blue.
that's a town.
Roll a.
Yeah. So now roll that
All
together.
of it again?
I'm trying to
Yeah,
see
just
where
roll it
you're
all
at.
again, just to make it easy.
Remember.
Okay.
Do you have it
Yeah.
somewhere?
Yeah, put it all together. Okay.
4, 5, 6 hits.
Just cancel them out. Help them out, Chip.
Help me out, Chip.
Okay.
The bigger they are. Okay, so
So
that was
those
page
will
30.
cancel.
Keep going.
That will cancel. 4 success and an advantage.
4 success and an advantage. All right. So as she spins around, you do a quick sidestep, and you just thrust right through it. And as she turns around, that saber goes right through her chest, and she kind of humps over.
Cool.
That's a lot of damage for that saber.
Yeah.
And it's the purple saber, which does more damage. So you're
Yeah.
parrying with the yellow, and the purple is the one that does more damage. That's actually 11 damage. The way a saber works is it breach, and there's no soak either.
There's
So
no soak.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. I'll take the next slot and
Oh.
try to.
So
Hold on. He
she's
still has a
toast.
maneuver as
Hey, do you
well.
want to move?
Yes, where is.
What's talent?
You're where? You're here?
Now,
like-
you can basically body block, but if you pull back to him, then that would be a bad thing.
I just
You're
want to
engaged.
shift to
You
just
can
get
absolutely
to where
do
I'm.
that.
My lightsabers are between me
and her. Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna take our 3rd slot if that's cool with everybody.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difficulty on attacking that one?
Huh? So where
The
are
other
you
one
at?
that jumped over and attacked. I'm ready.
Alright, so if you want to roll over, you can get a boost to attack her because she's
Okay.
engaged with someone else. I'll let you kind of jump in real quick. It's going to be 2 difficulty and 2 setback dice.
this.
You have a vibro axe, right?
Yeah.
This is going to hurt.
This. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Are you kidding?
Hold on.
Wow.
4 advantage.
Have you taken any strain so far?
I took 1 strain to do the.
Alright, so you're going to recover the strain. You basically come around. She kind of stumbles back, and basically she's going to get a setback on her next turn, anything that she's going to do. So I'll mark that she's getting a setback. You didn't hit her, but you surprised her so fast she's basically falling backwards, and she's going to get a disadvantage. Or setback, as we'll call it. Okay? Alright, who's up?
Do you want to maneuver as well?
No, I'm gonna sit down there.
Okay. Am I aware of the 3 that are above us?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good, thanks.
I'm gonna flip a grenade up there.
Yeah, you are. Alright, roll ranged light. It's going to be, it's just an average. Just regular average.
Aim. Does that apply for you? Oh, never mind.
No, not on that, yeah.
Go on. Destiny point?
We only we have 2 now. We have 3. Oh, we do?
Hold on.
Interesting.
So, alright, what cancels first? The triumph or the hit?
The hit.
The hit cancels first?
Yeah.
1 triumph and 1 disadvantage.
Yay!
Alright, hang on a second. It's a frag grenade, correct?
Yes.
Yay!
Just a standard frag.
Standard frag grenade. Okay.
And I wanted to put it right in the middle where it's gonna hit all 3 of them.
Alright,
I'm trying to clear that for us.
How does your lethality work? Does it trigger off of just your long gun, or does it work on anything?
Let me check that. Add +10 per rank of lethal blows to any critical injury result inflicted on opponents. Add 20.
Okay, so add 20. Alright, so now you need to roll percentile, add 20.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty
That's
good.
pretty good. Yep.
Pretty good. Alright,
Survey says
47, so 67.
67.
Take it.
Wow. Okay. All right. So the first guy here, the explosion knocks him off the side. These 2 guys take damage as well. They have all been basically knocked senseless, and they remove all boost skill from any of their checks for the rest of the encounter. You basically rung their bell. So they're like, "Oh man, the explode!" They weren't expecting it. You did end up killing one. The other 2 have taken, basically blast damage.
For my maneuver,
Yes.
I'm going to find cover with my brother over here.
Okay.
This one?
Nope. Yeah.
I thought that was dark.
Yeah, and I'm taking cover. So I basically run and slide in.
And
Okay.
then also she's gonna go. Bree's gonna go now.
Bree is gonna go.
Yes.
Okay.
Did she know about those guys and want to clear them out?
Let me look her up real quick.
The typist is gonna die.
Huh?
Look at Typhus is gonna die.
You might not be the only one.
Okay.
Yeah. If we make
Who's
it
after this?
You.
Me? Okay. I'm gonna pause on her action. The next action is gonna be my girl in the back.
Big
Wait.
bad.
Bree's not gonna go.
Bree's pausing. Guy in the back. Or sorry, our girl in the back. Yes,
Okay.
The leader woman.
the leader woman. Yeah.
I got you.
She reaches up her hand, and her hand starts to crackle with red lightning,
Of course she does.
and a blast comes out of the sky to hit the group centered.
course
She's
it
going
does.
to roll for that.
Can we use Destiny?
Huh?
Or that's a Force thing.
Huh?
Fucking Force druids, man.
Force druid. So the red
Lightning
lightning,
strike, yeah.
the red lightning comes down, and right before it hits, it's dissipated by this dome that's over your team. And y'all turn around and look, and Bree is holding her hand up as she has put up some type of protective barrier around the team.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Space wizards.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is she a?
All right, so the
Apparently.
blast
I see why
comes
they
down.
wanted
The
her.
blast comes down. It's dissipated, and you just see her hold up her hand and says, "No!" And she can't, and it basically counters
Yeah.
the blast. Okay. Immediately stop. Quick cinematic. We're gonna have the leader in the back. She's still there. She's fine.
Okay.
She kind of stands back and goes, "Who are you to have such power?" And then Bree, like still holding it up, says, "I am Brianna Shawn, daughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Satele Shan." She in the back immediately sends back, goes, "The daughter of an overrated Jedi. The teachings of the Jedi cannot save you from the power of Dathomir." And she begins to spark again with the red lightning. Bree steps forward and says, "You're right about the power of the Jedi, but I wasn't trained by a Jedi." She opens, as she's still holding up, she opens up her satchel and dons the mask of Revan. "I am Revan's heir, and the legacy and carnage of Dathomir ends."
Ooh.
So think back to KOTOR. Bastila Shan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Bastila Shan. Revan's
Now
wife.
go back to Clone Wars. Satele Shan probably had a romantic affair with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
It's the same house.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So now the people watching this are thinking, "Wow, that's really cool." What they don't realize is super cool is y'all have been playing the prequel to the other two games that we played. When y'all met Riley, that's Bree's daughter.
Right. Yes.
Y'all been playing a prequel.
remember.
This whole game is a
I
prequel.
remember. That is awesome.
So that
Please write things.
so
That is
so now you understand why she's against Mandalore rising up, because if she's the heir to Revan was the one that
He
was
owned Mandalore.
he defeated Mandalore when they were raping and pillaging the galaxy.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That is a nice plot twist.
Glad we brought her with us.
Yeah. Yes.
Did she
Nice.
pull out a double-bladed yellow?
Yes,
It was
she
my plan all
does.
along.
Oh, that
It was
is
my plan all
sick.
along.
She pulls out what?
a double-bladed
Yellow,
lightsaber.
just like Bastila Shan.
Okay, now
She's gonna.
I told y'all I had one twist left in me.
Oh,
That was
Trevor.
impressive, man. I've got chills.
I've still got one more in me.
Okay, well, I still have chills.
All right. So now the heir of Revan has appeared, and now we begin the rest of the battle. Who's next on the initiative?
Us.
Huh?
All right.
Who hasn't gone?
I haven't.
Neither of
I guess
us.
that's a
Go lightsaber.
You haven't
team.
gone either.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
haven't gone yet.
Yeah. So the three of them.
The cool kid side.
Okay. Who's over there? Those are all bad guys.
There's one bad guy alive here,
There's also these two
and
up
these
here.
two.
I can take care of the one.
Yeah, I'll
with
jump
lightsaber.
up. I'll jump up and take those guys.
I softened them up for you.
I know you did. I'm excited about that. So yeah, put me up top. The first guy, right there. Yeah. And
On your face.
what's the difficulty
Let
for
me
him?
see the initiative track real quick. Don't mind hand it to me. I want to see where are we at.
I put the arrow where we are.
Okay. All right.
What's his difficulty?
Sorry.
Huh?
What's the difficulty to hit that guy?
It's gonna be 2 and 2.
Is there
No,
one?
because I remove a setback.
There you go.
But
Okay.
also,
And then
they're
I get him.
stunned. Is that?
Oh wait, you're using a saber? It's just 2.
What?
You're using a saber.
There's
no
armor
setback.
act.
There's no armor.
Nice.
There's no armor.
Saber. Or do you want to use a blaster from close range?
Yeah, we learned that lesson. Go for it.
All right, so
For
it's
me.
But I'm
This-
better at this.
plus an advantage.
I'm just kind of shaking.
That's gonna
It's
quit.
still 2 purple.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, still 2 purple.
Okay.
So roll that with.
Okay. Oh.
Miss?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so you jump up to hit the saber.
Miss with 5 advantage. Excuse me, 4 advantage.
4 advantage. Okay, he ducks, but his Mandalorian reflexes is amazing. Because you come down and slash, you like cut right through the side of the
Sure.
building. He pulls back. Have you taken strain yet?
I have not. Can I kick him off?
No,
Can I
but
just
he
go
can get he'll take disadvantage. So your next you have a floating boost that you can give to somebody, and he's gonna have a setback on whatever he does next.
Excellent.
So the attack it's jarred him, but that's what we've got rolling forward. Okay, so that's his turn. Who's next?
You.
Me. Okay. My turn.
I didn't roll correctly. It's okay. I rolled 3 yellow now. I rolled 2 yellow and a green. It's okay.
It's okay. All right, we'll skip it. All right.
Get it next
Yeah, exactly.
Living
I
there.
can't believe I did that. Have it.
All right, my turn. I want all these guys here. If y'all can move those up into melee range.
Gross.
Anyone got grenades?
Dude, they just hold butt.
Yeah, so they all have jetpacks, and they're doing jet jumps over. So they like and jump,
Of course.
and they're coming down.
Ew.
You know who else has a jetpack?
Cool trick, bro. All right.
Armageddon
So there's
with
4 of
legs.
them. All 4 of them are going to be acting together as one,
Oh.
and they're all going to be coming down. Let's see.
I'm gonna try to auto fire.
All 4 of them are going to go after Bree.
Okay.
You're gonna need it.
The past was happening again.
She's holding this up, and as they all come up, they kind of overwhelm her and kick her to the ground, and they just start like pummeling on top of her. The shield drops for a split second. I mean, she's taxing, doing multiple things. She takes a lot of hits. All 4 of them are just coming down. They're basically got like these big like pipes that they're coming down on. It looks like a pipe, but it's basically a giant baton.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's
blood.
blood coming out and everything. So I mean, she's taking a beating. Yeah.
Is it us?
No.
Is it us?
Yes. It's everyone else on our team.
So the 2 of
Yes.
I'm going to Bree.
Of
Okay.
course you are.
Yes, you are.
Of course you are.
I'm going to heal her, and I'm gonna up her.
Stat. Yes.
Okay, yes, you are. So you're gonna buff her up.
This is my favorite
When you
part.
heal yourself.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
you-
And I'm gonna. Does he use a movement to get to her? Do I have to use a movement?
Aren't you close to her right
Oh wait,
there?
no. I can use. I'll just use an incidental to heal myself with my upgraded armor. I'm fine.
It's pretty good.
What's the difficulty? Oh, she knows. I'm up the difficulty. She'll take 1 strain. I'm taking 2 strain to lower it.
I'm gonna do all this and heal myself, by the way.
For free.
Wow. That's a lot of success.
Wow.
That is
Crush that.
4 successes with 3 advantage. 4 advantage.
Okay, so you basically heal her back up to full.
And
You
booster stats.
and boost her stat, and she gains back the strain damage she had taken as well.
And she heals 7.
Yeah, she's
Because-
back up.
yeah.
And you
Okay.
healed how many?
I healed 7.
Right.
Because of my armor.
Right.
Right.
Incidental.
Okay.
That's amazing.
The medic is insane.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
All right. Who's up after that?
I guess it's me.
Bantha. Spin
But
up
she
the
did
big gun.
take 1
Spin
strain.
him up.
Huh?
Spin
Well,
it
She
up.
takes 1 strain.
Get some.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna auto fire.
Which group?
The group right next to me, which is the 4 that just bum rushed me. I'm gonna aim for the 2 right next
Well,
to
okay. I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah.
If you're gonna auto fire into that, the chance of friendly fire is pretty heavy. But you have you've got other guys that haven't gone yet. They're gonna go at the end of the round.
Get them.
So you've got those
Dude,
guys.
if you could
Yeah.
knock out those 2 on that rock.
Yeah, I'll
that
get the
would be
2 on the
great.
ledge. Alright.
All right, go for it. Take your shot. It's gonna be 2 and 2. So 2 difficulty, 2 setback.
Do you want to give him that floating boost?
Yes.
Would that take away?
No, you just get the
That's a
boost.
boost.
All right,
then what's
flip a
the-
destiny point for me too. Make it a red and a purple.
Unless you want to flip one.
Okay,
Uh,
do
yeah,
you wanna
actually-
flip one?
You
How many do we
get
have?
you get.
We have 3.
Flip it.
Yeah.
Because
Flip
auto
it.
fire. Yeah.
Flip
All
it.
right, so basically,
Right.
I'm not flipping it. We have a house rule where if the active player gets to choose if they want the destiny, and if they do, then the other player.
Do you have your two?
Hey,
You
put
have
that,
your
put
two,
that box
two purple?
level.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
Two purple? Because
Bob,
you need this.
flatten that box out to where
Because
it's level.
they
Yeah.
roll to the
Go for
Wait,
it.
do I need 3 setbacks?
No, that's it. Wait.
Yeah, you just handed me a setback.
Okay.
There you go. All right,
Fuck 'em up, then. I mean,
it's all good.
Sorry.
Keep going.
Eat shit. Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got?
Yes! That is going to be maximum death, is what that is. All right.
What do we got?
So we've got
Those cancel.
I had some advantage. Can I recover any strain?
one. Okay, so
2.
we're going to have 3 hits, another triumph, and then 4 advantage.
5 advantage.
5 advantage.
So auto fire triggers. You're gonna hit both of them. Also,
what range are they at?
It's medium range.
Okay, so I do.
Yeah. So you're gonna hit both of them for what was it, 4 and 5. So what's the damage on the weapon?
I added that augmented barrel or whatever
Yes.
it was at 13 damage.
13. So it's gonna be
26.
18 damage.
That would be 26.
He's
Oh, minus the soap.
he's spraying. He's hitting both of them.
Okay.
he's
So-
like the guy in Predator. Just
Huh?
Are they tipping over?
Well, hang on.
These
I
two
also
over
need you to
here.
roll the crit on
Those
that.
guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't even see them.
He's trying to take out the flank.
100.
Wow.
100.
Wow, 100.
dead.
They are obliterated. I mean, you just kind of come across
Oh, wow.
and they like stun for a second, and you just as the line of death goes through, it
Line of
separates, it separates both of their like torsos from their legs as they just kind of fall in half. Well played. That's why you bring a heavy.
Yes.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Who else is up
That's the
next?
end of the
Right,
round.
that dude.
So whatever else you need to do.
Okay.
100.
On top of the already great roll I had.
Yes.
All right.
That is.
That was
Brutal.
Okay, so what's the groups that? So I've got 2 guys in the back here. They're gonna take shots as well. They are.
Those 2 guys. There's,
Yeah, well, they're not. They're holding.
Those
The 2 guys in the
these.
back are going to take the shots. They're both going to be firing. These 2 guys will be firing at Cade.
Come on with it.
You kind of sense the firing coming in, and as you kind of duck behind the rock as both the blasts miss you.
Cool.
I've got the other 2 guys here as well. They're also going to be firing this time at you.
Alright, so what do I get for being close
You get +1
to?
soap.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey guys, where's the bombers?
Again,
my
Again, your cover is superior to them firing in. Last 3 guys over there, have them jump jet in next to Reign of Death Boy.
Reign of Death Boy.
Okay.
No, right over.
One of them has a saber. The other 2 have those big. Yeah.
Oh.
So this is going to be 2 separate rolls. First, I'm going to go with the 2 guys that have the Mandalorian.
Stun him.
They're not stun hammers. They're something else.
Sure.
So.
I'm thinking they're like what do you call it? What's the hammer from Halo? The
Gravity
hammer.
hammer.
Gravity
As you're like spraying those guys jump up and you use your gun to parry both of those 2 attacks.
Here's the big one.
I don't drop it.
Here's the big one. Flip a destiny point
And the
for me.
lightsaber comes through the
come
gun.
on!
we get it back. That's
Not if he's dead.
I'm holding it up, and meanwhile
We
the
get it-
saber
we
comes
just
through my chest.
we have
Not
field
with the.
surgeon extraordinaire
This is a
here.
lightsaber we're talking
Once
about.
per encounter.
Yeah,
would be the
this
one.
is a lightsaber.
Once per
It's
session.
when you ignore
that's-
my
Okay.
defense.
All right. So both those guys come down. You raise your gun up and block them. The other guy comes in to parry. You scoot out of the way as the guy misses.
Oh, you need
I-
to move away
yeah.
from him.
That is a dancing
And you're
man.
not dropping the gun.
Yes.
So
Time to pull out the shotgun.
yeah.
I turn and yell over my shoulder. Never seen a big guy move that gracefully.
I've got the other 2 guys on the corner. They're also going
He's
to
a
take
dancing
shots.
bantha.
Those 2 guys?
Guys on the corner back
yeah.
here. Those 2 guys are going to be firing. They're firing at the medic.
Good choice.
the guy who literally just put someone
Uh-oh.
back together.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you have your.
Somebody throw me percentile.
No.
That's
Can
not
we
good.
use a destiny point?
It's too
We're getting it back now.
Oh
I
no.
don't like it when it makes that face.
Yeah, I got to figure out exactly how to explain it.
You got some
Um,
splaining to do.
You guys do have stim packs, right?
No.
Nobody else has a stim pack?
that's what I got him for.
Nobody else
Alright.
has a stim pack?
So
Yes,
as,
I do
so
have a
as
stim
you go
pack.
up, hang on, pause. As you go up, you've got your back turned to these guys because you just healed yourself and
Bree.
Bree. The blast comes through your right leg. You are crippled for the remainder of the encounter. You cannot take a free maneuver. So basically, you get an action. You can move with that action, but you can't do both. And that's for the encounter. You
Can
also
I still have my once per encounter 2 strain to move?
yes, that you can do. Then on top of that, damage-wise, you're gonna take 14 damage.
Minus my soak,
Minus your soak.
which puts me out.
All right, he's down. So he's like, ah, and the medic is down. Medic down.
Cowards who shoots at a medic.
Tactics.
Trevor.
It's tactics.
Trevor does.
Hey, hey.
Gunning for him.
What? Just because I'm wearing a Mandalorian
Yeah,
shirt?
exactly.
I hope Bree's got some tricks.
All right.
Hope those
are
bombers
we-
come in soon.
Are we at the end of the round?
We've been at the end of the round.
Oh, okay.
So you've just been doing
they're all
everything.
in at the end. Okay. All right. Next, what happens is if you can bring up Sapphire Squadron
Oh, thank God.
for the. All right. So no. Hang on. So what they're gonna do is it's the 2 TIE fighters and the Red Defender. So him and then the other 2. Basically, just put them right there. Yeah. Move them up a little bit further, a little bit further in, like kind of like
Yeah,
in
over
the
here.
middle. Yeah. Okay. All right.
No.
It's okay.
It's okay. Just put it back on. You're
Yeah.
good. All right. Let's see if Bob can figure it out. No.
Bob's smart.
Somebody help him.
Make an
All right.
intelligence
So they're gonna come in. I've got to make an
got
attack
you,
run,
You're good.
and y'all know who's flying that thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you need more dice?
I'm
Actually,
just
oh
re-rolling.
no, because the plastic broke on the TIE fighter. Like,
All right, it's
inside.
fine. Move it to
sorry,
the
dude.
side. Bring up the Phantom as a replacement. It's a TIE fighter.
It's a TIE fighter.
Okay.
There's so many TIE fighters.
Still so
Sit.
bad.
Okay.
Yours or mine?
All right. So as they fly through, the 2 guys here are dead. The 2 guys in the middle are dead. The 2 guys in the back are dead. They just do a strafing run and take all 6 of those out.
Yeah.
Nice.
For the TIE
This
fighters.
is
What
looking
about-
much more
That's
doable.
it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We gotta get hit.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. As they're flying out,
Does Mom jump out?
2 protectorates swing through and blow one of the TIE fighters out. So just remove the other one that was broken.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
other one, Bob.
Yeah, just remove the Wraith.
Phantoms are crap anyway.
Okay. Also,
Dope, shut your mouth.
if you can on this side, a pair of Z95 headhunters show up as well. And now we've got a full dogfight. So all of this is going on in the air
While we're
as
dealing with this on the
dealing
ground.
with on the ground.
The TIE
Rollers.
Defenders got it.
Okay. All right. Are we still at the end?
No, we've been at the
We're
beginning.
dead until you tell me.
Yeah. I'm going through the rest of the actions. Okay. Who's first?
You.
The top round, you.
Me. Okay. All right.
The boss.
Yes. Move her and the 2 guys up to midfield.
Here's.
A little bit up further. They don't care about cover.
Here's.
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
All right, cool.
All right.
Hope those
So
rocks are good enough for y'all.
she's running forward and is going to take her lightning and just throw it into the group of everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I guess
Come on,
Her name.
crazy force powerful
Really
girl.
fucking
You got
lost
this.
that.
All right.
I don't like that.
She's a dark side user. I get 3 dice.
3
I
force
rolled
pit.
5 light side dips.
That is amazing.
It's
So
amazing.
did she kill all our people?
No, she goes to fire the lightning, and Bree with her saber, as she's dealing with these other guys, she just puts up her hand, and yellow lightning shoots out of her hand, which you've been seeing now in visions. The yellow lightning comes out and
right.
blocks the. It's basically like an explosion that happens midfield. However, I need the Breaker Brothers to make a coordination to try to block out the way of the explosion. So make a
Coordination check?
yeah, coordination check. It's going to be daunting.
Ooh. Someone got some
That's
thermal
4,
detonators.
right?
Yeah.
Funny enough, I would not throw them at her though,
Just blow it up midair. They're dead.
or throw it back.
Gross.
Hot potato.
Cancel.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
2 disadvantage. Or 2 threats.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the worst.
Is,
thing.
hold on. This is
The
bad.
Breaker Boys are dead.
That
No, they're
cancels.
What
Those
trouble the Breaker Boys
cancel
got in this time?
two misses and a disadvantage.
2 misses me, so 2.
Do I get any bonus for being near him?
Hot.
For commander?
Yeah, 2 threats, 2 hits.
Wait.
The prime positions gives you +1 soak as long as you're within.
Oh, so you get +1 soak.
Yeah.
Good, because you're going to need it. Okay. All right, so you're going to take 14 damage
Oh.
minus your soak.
Was I near you for the
So
first hit?
4. So 10.
I think
10.
As long as you're within short range.
Okay.
Wait,
Oh,
am I within short range of him?
You're out, so it doesn't matter.
But was he
Before.
Was he within short range?
Yeah. But were you taking cover?
No.
Because you have
No.
to be taking
No.
cover. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right, so you took 10.
I've got 2 left.
Okay. And then Dak is hurting. Cade, you kind of like somehow instinctively saw it coming. You flip over on the other side of the rocks.
Okay.
Now, the good thing is you busted that. The bad news is you're now laying prone on the ground without having cover.
Okay.
So you're like, I made it! Ah! And with that, my 2 guys are gonna run up and stab.
Wait. That was all
They
one.
move on.
It was the boss, right?
Yeah, they're all in one. They're all moving on one. That's how the system works. I move in groups.
Okay. All right.
It makes it go faster. So they're gonna move up.
That's not
So
good.
that's-
No,
Huh?
no, it's not.
Prone means it's harder to hit him, right?
No.
In
He's
range.
easier with
target.
melee.
In range.
He's easier with melee.
He's a
because-
smaller target, right?
Flip a destiny point.
Yeah.
Does he not have
Fantastic.
finales that end in TPKs?
Never. All
That
right.
one time I had a wish.
You have a force wish?
Oh.
Start sneaking away. Good luck, guys.
Okay.
Alright,
Oh,
ISB
no.
vanishes.
And he killed you.
I think I might have.
I got an answer for this.
Was it more than 4 strain?
No, I rolled a really awful crit.
Oh no!
Fantastic.
You lost a limb.
Fat.
You lost a limb.
That limb was
All
my
of
head.
No. It was your arm. Or
Okay.
leg.
All right, so
Arm and a leg.
you land on the ground, and they come down to stab you. You roll over, and your right arm is still where it was.
Oh, great.
Whoa.
All right.
With holding your pistol.
Oh.
So you're like, ah! You're like, ah!
Positive. We can
So is
replace
this
that.
wound damage or strain damage?
Oh, it's wound. I'm heavily strained. Yeah, maim is what I rolled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting
Yeah.
prosthetic after this.
To which I get a front row seat to my brother losing an arm.
Right, you do. So it's 14 damage before your soak.
Gross.
We can rebuild.
We can rebuild.
Ah!
I mean, what kind of
I
force
wasn't in
doesn't
cover
have
'cause I
a few
got knocked over.
goblins?
Oh,
Huh?
so yeah.
I'm at 1 wound.
underestimate me.
You're not dead yet.
Not dead
You're
yet.
not dead yet. All right.
No.
Can I go?
Yeah. So
No.
I have a
Is that
step
done?
back.
It's Trevor.
Huh?
No, wait, it was the bad guys first, then it's us.
are you done with that?
Oh,
too?
I am done with those
Okay,
guys.
so yeah, it's us now.
Okay.
So.
So here's a question.
I think you need to deal with those.
I'm going to drop a frag grenade as I leap off over to our medic to hit him with a stim pack. Is the stim pack an action?
All right. It is an action, and dropping the grenade is an action.
Then in that case, I'm not going to drop the grenade. I'm just going to instead leap over the edge and do a coordination check to land and hit him with a stim pack.
That guy was at disadvantage.
Bob, give me this.
He
Give
was
me
at disadvantage and he was
first. Let's do this. Give me a hard perception check. I don't even know if you know he's down.
He was right.
I've got an
He was
idea,
right.
guys.
Yeah, but you were
Involves
engaged.
yourself
Man,
on
you're
that
Alright.
hill.
you're at a
Alright.
different place,
Okay.
so it's gonna be hard with a setback.
So hear me out.
I don't know if you're aware of it all. Is like, yes, I know exactly everything that's going on behind me down the building.
Well, I
Around the
thought
corner.
we were also communicating.
I'm just roll
Okay,
it.
I will. All right.
Just roll it.
So hear me
I
out,
think
guys.
this makes sense.
I just
Alright.
pack up and I drop it.
It's mass chaos.
I
It's what
understand.
the DM said. It makes sense.
Ooh.
It makes sense.
We're not doing like
Okay, let me make sure. I got it.
We're not doing like play-by-plays.
Yeah.
Huh?
I
We're not
got
doing
it with
play-by-plays
2
in
advantage.
combat.
Huh?
I got it with 2 advantage.
Okay, yeah. So you know. All right, you're aware. You heard him scream.
Yes.
That sounds like our
So-
medic guy.
Right. I know that scream.
Yes.
How many initiative slots have you lost?
Huh?
Have you lost any? Because I know a ton of people.
Yeah, but they're at the end. So just keep up with what you got, and then
Okay.
once I run out of people, I'm
Okay.
done.
Sounds
All right. So in this case, I'm going to make my move to
Okay.
him.
All right.
Which one is? It's no
Snow Trooper.
Stormtrooper. Yeah, who's actually technically on the ground, but yeah.
Okay.
That's him right there.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper, yeah, right there.
Stim him.
All right. I will stim him. And you get back. What is it? 5?
7.
4.
No.
7's
4?
for me.
5.
-1 because I've had one already.
25.
Today?
Today.
How
Yeah.
did you have one today?
My
He's
incidental.
himself, so he gets
Oh.
full
His
back.
suit stims himself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But he's not dead.
All right. Well, 4.
All right.
So
He's up.
He's alive, which is
Okay.
significantly better.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's laying on the floor.
Better than dead.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's this? Robot limbs for everyone.
Right. Who's up?
All right.
You.
Me. All right. The guys that he just ran past are now
That I
going to
leaped
get.
into.
Huh?
That I leaped into.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah. So
swarm
they
me.
get bonuses to attack you. Flip a destiny point.
Yeah.
I'm in melee, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will be parrying.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah, again, I need it. I don't like that face.
Yep.
All right.
See what one
Your
does.
lightsaber.
I don't like when
nice.
he rolls and then rolls another
got
set of
three-
dice.
I'm having a reroll because I don't have as many dice. So here's what happens: as you're running by, you go to stem him, and as they turn and they hit him, you just blindly throw your saber up and parry both of the attacks.
Nice.
Bad ass.
You just run by like got it, like it's almost you saw it coming.
Got it.
You're just like nope.
It wasn't blind. The force was leading him.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I did all of that and still missed. Okay. I just still have 2. That was 2 of the guys
Yes.
in that group. There was another 2 that jumped up. Is it just those 2? No,
There's 2 on
there's
Bree.
The 2 on
yeah.
Bree.
There's 2 more. Those are the 2 that you did it. These are part of that same initiative group. These 2.
So those guys shifted off Bree.
Yeah.
They're shifting up
Well,
Bree
no,
from
they're
underneath.
on Bree, so they're gonna attack Bree.
Okay.
Sorry, they need to be put up, but it's fine. Okay.
Sorry, I got to question again.
Alright, you guys, so hear me out.
You might
I'm
need
gonna jetpack up and drop a grenade at my feet.
No, they don't. Bree's like, nope, with the saber. She's parrying there.
Lol. No.
Yeah, absolutely not happening. Okay, who's up?
How many of us do we have?
There's
there?
3 of us up now.
3 of them. All right, go.
I'll go ahead and have a swing at them with a lightsaber.
Can
Yes.
one of them be me?
Well, yeah, I was gonna go me, you, Kyle.
Have you
can
been
go
hit?
first.
Quickly.
I haven't been hit.
Okay. You can go first if you want.
I would like to try to kill someone too, because
Yes.
Yeah,
Here,
then
you go
bird.
then. You go then.
Me?
You go
Okay.
first. You go on the. You go on her. I'll go later.
I'll go on the lightsaber person.
Yeah, go on the lightsaber
can't
person.
And
can't move?
take
Not
a
at all.
strain. What's the difficulty?
If I don't take it.
2 and you have a
I was crit.
2 and 2.
She's engaged with me.
Unless I
Those
use
two
my
go
it's
Is it
one
still two and two
thing
and
per
she's engaged
session,
today?
You get a extra
which is
boost.
an action, I believe.
You can't get over there to save him right now. He's in combat. He'll just go down.
Even if I could get over.
Oh
You
no.
can't go over there.
No.
Are you kidding?
No.
2 advantage.
2 advantage. All right.
Oh no!
She dodges out of the way.
No.
And you're gonna have a floating boost to attack her.
Okay. Me specifically, or
Oh, I probably
Anybody.
wouldn't know he's
Anybody.
there.
She's
Sorry,
basically
no.
open.
that's you.
So while you didn't hit her, you knocked her off her balance.
Still, it's important to keep you in.
Y'all have
First?
2 more slots, correct?
Yeah, we got 2
Yeah,
slots.
Kyle, I want Kyle to go so Bree can go. So they have to go this turn because she can really use some crowd control on them. Is what I'm saying.
I could use going too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you go ahead and go, and then
You
the
go ahead
last
and
slot, let him go. Yeah, so
Do you
go.
need
those?
It's a
Okay.
medic.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Yeah.
Who's next to me?
I am. I just
You're
stimmed
you're
you.
not hurt, right?
I just stimmed you.
Yeah, you're not hurt though.
No,
He missed.
not yet.
Is there anyone who's hurt?
No failures.
Both the Breaker Boys are in a little bit of trouble.
Breaker boys.
Anyone
Breaker.
next to me?
Nah,
There's a
Wait,
bad guy.
yellow,
There's a
green,
bad guy. You want to kill
I
him?
can see Dak. I probably can't see him because
No,
I
you
was
can't.
knocked
He's got him
out.
and
Can
Right.
you
one
shoot it
person
with the
before they go.
pistol?
I don't have it anymore.
What happened?
I took another backpack. I mean,
Anyway, alright, so-
med pack.
Gotcha.
Can
What do
I
you wanna
see
do?
him?
Huh?
Yes, you can see.
Yes.
Dak.
Is he short range?
Yep. You can so you can strain yourself twice to hobble over there. Because
Is
you
your
don't get a
crippled
move.
still?
I don't. That's why I'm asking if I could use the 2 strain to get to him.
Yes, you can. You can do that. So you can. This is a once per encounter thing. You can basically hobble your way over there.
That's awesome.
To here?
Yeah, to
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then.
So you're kind of pushing past people. Basically, you've got
I'm
Hardington
providing
is
cover.
basically covering you and
Bob's
blocking.
distracting.
And you're like,
Yeah.
as you're kind of hobbling across
Yeah.
the battlefield to get to your commander.
Incidental.
Covered in
myself.
blood.
Absolutely.
Healing him, and I'm gonna try.
Oh, it's not KO. Sorry, you're healing Dak. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. It's difficult. I'm gonna take a strain. That is. I don't do it.
Seriously?
yes.
You do heal though.
What do I heal?
7.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
What was the roll for?
Trying giving you stats.
More cool stuff.
Oh, that
Alright.
would have been wonderful.
It
Alright,
would've been.
so
It
you
was
heal him.
2
You get a
advantage.
you basically get
Make it fail.
a surge of basically between chemicals and adrenaline. You're not better, but you're pushing through.
Okay.
So even though your wounds may say different, you took a huge blast.
2
Okay.
advantage.
2 advantage.
What about recovering strength?
Y'all both can recover a strain if you've taken it.
A strain?
A strain.
A strain. Gotcha.
All right, you need to go, Kyle. So you can go.
Cool. Is it an incidental to draw and toss a weapon?
Draw, yes.
I
Toss,
want,
no.
I want to fire my long rifle
Uh huh.
and then put my other pistol into my brother's lap, basically.
That's not. Yeah, that
I
would
have a
be.
pistol. I had 2.
Yeah.
Two?
This is
Oh.
why you had one of them.
This is why I got 2. All right.
Sure. So I saw those guys cut off my brother's arm. I'm kind of pissed.
Don't tell me you're gonna drop a grenade on him.
If I had a thermal detonator.
Fireball my team. All right.
Well, we didn't give you one.
No. So am I
Starting to look a lot like
any
Citizen
disadvantage to take a shot at those guys?
No.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna do that, and my maneuver is going to be aiming.
Yes.
And I'm gonna use a force point. So that.
I'm gonna say
That's
no
equal.
on aiming on the long gun at that range.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I still get my boost, right?
You do get your boost, yeah,
Okay,
but you can't aim.
but I don't get my aim, so I'm gonna use a force point.
Okay, flip, yeah, that you can do.
That's the
Cool.
360 before the no scope.
Yeah, exactly. What's my
2 and 1.
2 and 1?
Oh, wait. Come on, Kyle.
Hold on. Those
Nope.
cancel.
Got 13.
Nope, same
Huh?
thing happened to me.
Straight
That
advantage.
cancels.
Lots of
1,
advantage.
2,
No
3,
hits.
4,
No.
5 advantage.
All right, so you 5
Oh.
advantage.
5 advantage,
All right,
No hit.
but no hit.
All right, so you basically roll over and you start just firing like crazy. They jump back, but now you've created like basically cover fire
Yeah.
in space, so they're having to back off
You can
of
spin
them.
an advantage to give them straight.
Huh?
That's
I'm gonna
part
do
of my
that.
war leader thing.
Yes, you can.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
do that.
So they're like, whoa, they're going. So basically, you're blowing up the ground next to them, and you're basically creating protective fire, basically,
Okay.
for your brother.
All right.
Okay, 5 advantage.
Jeez.
That's not even on the chart.
What?
Can I
Huh?
Yeah, it's
burn
fine.
any of that advantage to get my brother back
I don't
into
know how many-
cover?
to
You
pull and
can.
grab
Okay,
him
so
over?
we did that, and then you also
Because
can.
I haven't maneuvered yet.
You can take a free maneuver, and then you can give a boost.
You ever pull
It's a
him back
floating
over?
boost. No, that you can't do. No.
I can take a free maneuver.
Actually, yes, you could totally grab him and pull him over with your free maneuver.
Cool.
All right, so you're like,
So
boom, boom, boom,
I
boom,
grab
and as soon
his
as it,
arm that's still
now
attached
here's what's
to
gonna
him.
happen though. As you're firing, and they back off. You're gonna have to
rocks.
drop your gun, grab him, and pull him over.
I without sending it too far, I just lay it over. Next
I'm
to
telling
me.
you, if you want to pull all this off in the amount
Okay.
of time, it's like shoot, 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 drop, grab him.
Okay.
It's not like gently lay it down, put the safety
Well,
on.
I'm saying it just stays on top of the.
You're focused on saving your
Okay,
brother.
that's
Okay,
fine.
so you pull him over. Trail of blood.
Yeah.
As you pull him over, he's in and out of consciousness.
That's fine.
Right. It's not Star Wars until someone loses an arm.
Yeah.
Let's face it. All right. So what do we got? Who's up next?
I got you.
Wait, no. If he went, that means that
Bree
Bree gets to
goes.
go.
He's probably
Yes.
control those guys.
Kill those
With that
guys.
double-bladed lightsaber.
Yes. Kill those two. Like Darth Maul.
Are y'all okay if I use a destiny point?
Okay, well,
Yes.
yes.
Bree, use it.
I was like, are they like next to each other? Oh no.
Okay, she spins the saber around and kills both the guys next to her.
Yes.
I love how nonchalant you are about
Right.
that.
And she does have the extra thing.
Right, she's going to move forward past those guys, and then she's going to strain herself.
No. She's up on her.
She's going to engage.
Yeah, she's going to engage.
Do you feel like joining the grenade club some more?
Grab that
Like
Alright.
VIP access?
Who's up after that?
You're gonna drop it.
You are.
I'm
You
gonna
are...
get back
Okay.
Then it runs the risk of hitting the arrow of Revan.
She's fine.
Alright, so both of these guys are going to come down trying to hit you. So this is kind of complicated. They're moving as a group. One is ranged, one is melee.
And they
Okay.
have no blues.
Huh? You're right. They don't have any blues for the rest of the encounter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
All right.
you take any strain doing that jump?
Huh?
Did you take any strain doing that jump?
Sorry.
Just gotta-
Mandalorians have jetpacks, but okay. Okay. So the club, the guy comes down with the. It's actually this is a staff. He comes down with the staff. You need to parry this, obviously. So take your 2 strain. You'll basically go down to only taking 1 damage. So 1 wound as you parry the attack. The blaster, on the other hand, comes through and hits you. You don't have reflect, do you?
No.
Okay. That's just a pistol. Take 7 minus your soak.
Okay.
This you can soak.
Wearing that armor, does my soak go up 1 since I'm wearing that shadow armor?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that actually would
Okay.
make me this then.
All right. Who's up after that?
Us.
Yay.
Who wants to take it?
I haven't gone. Who hasn't gone?
You should go first.
Let him go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should go first.
What's the silhouette on those columns?
What's the question?
What's
the follow-up question?
the force move?
Oh,
That
these
column
columns.
right
Because
there.
I dumped all my points into
Right.
it.
Yes, you can.
What's the silhouette though?
I will give it to you.
What is the silhouette? I'm
2?
trying to throw it at people.
I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay. I'm
just
just
gonna let you
smack
do
it into those 2 guys.
All right.
Yes.
You got to roll a 4.
Catch all 3 of them.
That you can catch those 2 if you got. Yeah, it's just gonna be
I
those
think-
2.
I thought he was talking about this one and bringing it across.
Because I
this
feel like
way.
it would hit.
This
That
one
one.
here.
What do you
Is
want
that
to?
But that's
possible?
the
Can I
boss.
get that one and hit all 3 of those guys right there?
How about you roll a force dice and let's see.
Just one.
Just one.
One.
Come on.
Yeah, dark side.
On the dark side.
One dart.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I will. You'll be able to throw it and hit the 2.
Okay,
not
cool.
not her.
Which one were you throwing?
That one then.
This one?
Yep. It does damage equal to 10 times the silhouette.
So
They're dead.
Which is why I was asking.
yeah.
It does damage
Silhouette
equal to
2.
10
The-
times
We need
the
one
I was
to do
like,
that.
why does this matter?
I'm imagining you lifting
Now
the
I
sword
get
up.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you don't,
Yeah.
you don't lose your connection to the
That
force
was
with that
awesome.
arm. So you're just
Phantom
lifting up
lamp
your
syndrome.
Yep.
Move it over.
Your skull
Well
kind of goes
played.
like this.
Well
was
played.
Oh,
Okay.
well
All right.
Meanwhile, it's-
Also, on your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, stagger closer to.
No, on your turn as well.
Nope.
You hear a voice come over your comm, and it's the voice of Private Niz, who says, "Eyes in the sky are here, coming in with a bombardment because now he's on the bottom turret."
Yes! I love it!
The Walleye Deadeye from the.
Is he actually good at this?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't
He's never
know.
done
Find
anything
out.
besides be in trouble.
But
We don't know.
our guy with the lazy eye
Alright, so I'm gonna make a bombardment
just
roll.
announced eyes in the sky.
So just the funny part of that.
Yeah.
And he's shooting
Okay.
in a crowded area.
Yeah.
So basically, this shot's coming from the Endurance. And take those guys out on the side.
He actually did it?
Yeah, this massive blast comes to the atmosphere and just
I was
craters.
aiming for the bunker.
Yeah.
Craters that.
I'm
So-
glad you missed.
Did I hit the bunker?
You done good, son.
So that came from the endurance. So the Gazanti is here, lending support. Above, there's a fight going on. The other TIE fighter is gone. It's 4-1, and it quickly turns to 2-1 as your mother is showing off in the Defender. They are outclassed.
Is she just toying with them?
No, she's just
eliminating them.
She's eliminating them.
She's in the zone.
It's getting bad quick. Okay.
Good.
Who's up next? You. Is it my turn? Oh, okay.
That was Bantha.
Well,
No,
have we lost any of those groups? Because
Sure could.
I go until I run out of guys, basically, on the initiative. All right, so I've still got some guys up on you guys.
and the lightsaber chick.
Yeah. Lightsaber chicks can go onto you.
Shocking development there.
Right. Here she comes.
Listen, I'm glad it's you who can actually defend.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with 11 damage.
Okay.
Can you parry
Yeah,
that?
I can parry.
It's no you can't it's breach, so there is
but he
no
can parry.
soak, but he can parry it.
Yeah.
So you can parry, and I'll take your basically you take 2 strain and reduce it by 4 for your presence, and then 2 ranks, so you can reduce it by 6, so you're still taking 5.
Okay.
Better than ladder.
All right.
Better than 11.
So she comes down. You parry the first as she comes down, and she comes back. She kind of pokes at your shoulder.
Ow.
So you're like, oh. So you're taking. And what's interesting is as she's fighting you, you notice that she has changed stances, and where before she was using more of a traditional Shicho, she's matching your Makashi style now. She's fencing you back.
Okay.
She's adapted.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Also on that, there's a guy behind you.
He gets to go again.
Oh no, that's a
did
different.
that.
It's a different group. It's a different group. There's a couple of people that are the 3 guys on Bantha. I've got to kind of get them all in the group.
The 3 guys on Bantha went all jumped. No, they haven't gone.
That was
yet.
last turn.
It's this turn.
Crap.
You have your shadow armor.
That's where you wanted to go. You wanted to go through the combat.
You are blocking off everything with the gun. So you're like, no. Now, that being said, the Z6 is taking a lot of damage. They're hacking away at it, but you're just blocking it.
Good thing I
blocking.
got grenades.
Right. So I don't know how operable this thing is going to be at this point, because you're basically using it now as like moving cover.
Well, I got a shotgun too. So.
Right. So all 3 of them, they're coming across with
Yeah.
the sword. Even the guy with the saber, you block it off with your gun. So well played.
Lightsaber fencing. Lightsaber fencing. Bantha's
So,
like,
all
I
right,
can do
who's
that
next
too.
up? Who's next up?
Everyone who hasn't gone for us.
I haven't gone yet.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm gonna jetpack up and drop a grenade.
Right on him.
Okay. All right. First, give me the planetary piloting roll. Standard difficulty.
935, 2 agility, so
Is that standard? Yeah. Is it jetpack?
Yeah.
Wow.
was standard 1.
2 purple.
He destroyed it on his first roll to like learn how to do it.
Good.
He crushed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
What is it?
2 fails, 2 advantage.
Man.
Well,
We learned this in school, boys.
I'm in the
so-
VIP grenade
So you're
club
like,
now.
so as you're parrying, you're like, you trigger your jetpack and you have mentally this idea of what you do. Instead, where'd you go? Where's your guy here?
Yeah,
You're back here. You just basically like shoot yourself backwards. You lose the rest of your turn because you thought you were going up. Instead, you shot backwards. So you're now you have the high ground. So there's that.
That
And
is
they'll
true.
stop hitting your gun.
Right.
Yeah,
true.
but
Right.
I don't know how operable my gun is now. That's the only
Spin it
thing.
up
Have
and find
more
out.
than
Up and
one.
find out, man.
All right. Who's up?
Me, finally.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I did it again. Sorry.
You're good.
Stop
Lightsaber chick is we're having, and I'm taking a force point on that, and
Okay.
I have a floating advantage as well.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Spending a force point?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
upgrades
point.
the dice, right?
Destiny point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
Good luck. She's wily.
She is.
So how many do you want me against her? She's engaged with him as well. so-
It's still 2.
okay.
But
Does he
that's
get a
it.
blue boost?
He gets the boost.
Okay.
He's already got it.
Okay. Yes.
No.
You gotta be kidding.
Are you serious?
Nope.
She's
There's an
fencing.
actual failure.
Oh,
It's a
we
failure
have
and a few
3.
advantage.
It's more than a few.
5 advantage and a failure.
Oh, wow.
We get all kinds of advantage on her. We
Yeah.
All
cannot
right,
kill
so
her.
you get a free maneuver.
Jeez.
You're basically throwing her off balance. She's countering you, but you're overpowering her with your finesse, basically. I mean, like but she's fencing you off. You can't get through to her, but you're starting to realize what type of defense, and you're analyzing her fighting
Yeah, the
technique.
problem is I need to go at the top in order to kill her. Or I'm gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
all right. So here's the thing. You're sit. Just sit. You're good. All right. So do you have any strain that you've taken? Recover 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do recover the 2 strain, which is going to help you for your parries. She's going to get a setback to anything that she wants to do. And who's next?
Stop of the round.
Stop around. You.
Top
It's end of the round, so I
In,
I think I'm out of the guys. That
you still have your headhunters here.
Oh yeah.
huh?
You still have your headhunters.
They're flying up. All their actually no, the
that's a good
headhunters
call.
are gone. Headhunters are gone. You can wipe those off.
All right.
Mom took those out.
Yay, Lord
Mom took
Baron.
those out.
Thanks, Mom.
It's just the protectorates now. If you want to put those in front of the,
Yes.
just kind of put them in the field of view for the cam, so we can kind of see that those are still above. So she's fighting the protectorates above. In the distance,
fighter?
huh?
This one's still alive,
That was
too?
out.
No,
That
it's
one's
out.
out.
Okay.
It's just
Just
that.
her.
It's just her now.
What about the Wraith? He's
no,
on.
no, he's a recon. Bring in the Gamma Squadron. Just kind of put them in the
Wow,
field.
about time.
Just kind of bring them over here. They're starting their attack. They're basically bombing run. They're blowing up all the buildings around. I just want them kind of in the scene
Sure.
that they are. This is the chaos that's happening. And as they are bombing, you put this out there as well.
Whoa!
Another part of Death Watch comes in, blows up one of the bombers.
Okay.
I'm just imagining the sound of the blasters on that because I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah,
And I got really good
So
with it.
all kinds of we got an air battle going. The bombing run's getting intercepted.
Yep.
Let me do a quick piloting check for Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Send her up against Boba Fett. Who's gonna
Take out one of the protectorates.
Yes!
I could have brought my
Okay.
Lego Slave 1.
Boba Fett got killed by Blind Han Solo.
Didn't happen. All right. Who's up next? Is it end of the round?
Yeah.
That was end of the round.
So
Top
it's
of the
the top
round.
of the round, which is going to be me,
Boss lady.
Boss Lady.
There.
Does she have a name?
Imagine.
Huh?
Does she have a name?
She does.
We should
You
ask
all
her.
know it.
Let's take a moment and introduce ourselves.
Oh hi, I'm.
You could have asked them. They said they're coming for you.
Yes. You're right.
Who's coming?
Who's
for me?
calling?
Yeah.
I don't have caller ID on this.
Okay.
Can you,
Who talks
Um,
first? You talk first?
I talk first. It's whole with the whole apparatus
Yeah.
that she has.
It's really hard to
Enough.
understand her with that thing.
Okay. All right. So she comes down with her saber to attack. Bree blocks off part of it with the saber, and she kind of comes back up at her. She has like a riposte, I guess. Riposte. She tries to hit her. She dodges it back. So they're just kind of matching skill for skill right now.
Okay.
So that's what they do on their turn. They're dancing around. Now this battle's going crazy as they're dancing back and forth, but
they're-
neither one of them are landing a blow.
They're engaged.
They're engaged.
Which means she's not screwing with the rest
Shooting
of
lightning
us.
at
Yeah.
us.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Who's up?
I want to kill that
Yeah,
woman.
please.
How? Do I have a boost on her again? or
Yes,
no?
you do, and yeah, and it's just two.
I don't want to.
It's just average. It's two purple.
It's amazing with two purple.
That's it.
One. No, you
That-
got one.
no,
You got
no,
one.
no.
You got. You
Dude,
just
hold
hit
on.
it, but you have.
Hold on.
Okay.
That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll hit.
Yes.
That
Tanner, you gotta watch your
cancels
language.
Yeah. It's all good. We're good. We're fine.
A
We're fine.
hit
advantage.
and 3 advantage.
All right.
Good.
So now
Yes,
you're
Chris.
hitting her with the purple saber, which does an
Yes.
additional, so it's 7, 8 damage.
Mm.
Yeah. you
And
can
it
take
crits.
And
And it crits.
it does
It crits.
crit.
So I get to swing again.
What?
No, it's not that you swing again. You get to roll.
I thought with the double thing I get to swing again.
No, that's if you have enough. How many do you have?
5, 4.
4
He had
advantage.
No,
3, he had
no.
3 advantage.
No, it's not that you. They both hit.
Okay.
So you hit her. Yeah, she's dead.
Okay.
You hit
So
her twice.
as she's like matching
Yeah.
it, you see what she's doing, what type of defense she has. You quickly change stance, and as you go up, She blocks one, you jab in with the other one, and then come down. So this is it's actually borrowing something from Sheen that you're doing, which kind of makes you feel dirty in a way, but it worked. So basically you stab her down, and as she's like stunned for a second, you bring the other saber down and cut her down. So she's down. All right, so now you get a maneuver. Now you've got another guy behind you if you want to turn. Now the thing is, now you're one-on-one with the guy behind you, and because you're one-on-one, you're dueling. Okay. All right. So now who's up?
You.
Me. Okay. I'm running out of guys.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Got the group of 3.
I'm gonna have all 3 of those guys run up on Hardington.
Of course you will.
There's also this guy.
Because I'm in hard
he's part
mode.
of.
Right.
Take him out. I think he died a while ago.
Okay.
I'm following it here. I don't.
He's
I don't know where we
probably
lost
dead.
him, but yeah, he's.
He's not accounted for.
My bad.
It's okay.
I didn't even.
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. All right. All right. So I've got 3 hits on you.
I will be parrying.
Okay, good. Because that's going to be 10 damage before you parry.
Okay,
So parry is what's your fighting skill, which is 3.
Yep.
And then so basically you take 2 strain, and so it's 2 plus 3, so 5. So it reduces it to 5.
And then my soak.
0 soak because he has a saber.
Gotcha.
It's just 5.
Gotcha.
You got
Okay.
him, man.
Okay.
Hit him back.
So basically you're fighting off while the other two that don't have sabers, they're feinting you off, and you kind of block them off. The guy with the saber comes in and tags you.
Okay.
So now it's not
coming around.
it's not awful. It's just like a side cut, but you're hurting. So
Okay.
what are you at now, health wise?
7 wounds and then 10 strain.
Ouch. Okay. All right. Who's up?
Me. I'm gonna take that guy out in front of me,
Go for
or
it.
try to. Make it a frenzy. How many force or destiny points do we have?
We have 3. Burn it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we have another yellow?
A yellow or green?
Just re-roll it.
Okay.
Just go
green,
for it.
would you? Oh, I see.
And then 2 purple and anything else?
Go for it.
No
it's
black?
It's just 2 purple.
Okay. And then, so that's an advantage that I'm re-rolling. So the floating advantage will take that out. Success. So here's an advantage.
So triumph, 3 advantage.
3 advantage and a triumph.
Yes.
All right, so basically you're
Killed him.
gonna run forward, and you're gonna as you slide forward with your vibro axe, you're gonna take both of those guys out.
Yes. Yes.
Finally.
We needed that.
Yeah. So yeah, you slide up, and now you jump off of your feet, and with your vibro axe, as you take those 2 out.
Good kill.
So who's up after that?
Me.
There's 2 more slots of us.
Who has not gone this round?
Wait.
Most people.
How is there only 2 more slots if no one's
it's
gone?
up- it was
No.
up-
No.
We have 3 in a
There's
row.
we got that 3 in a row.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Go.
I'm gonna shoot that guy on the roof.
Okay. Actually, stop for a second. Give me a daunting resilience check.
Me?
Yeah.
To not
no.
pass out, I imagine.
You're bleeding.
Oh no. no. That's no bueno.
If he doesn't, do you
Daunting
still
is
get a
4?
go?
Yeah.
No.
It's not gonna work out. Yeah, it doesn't work out at all.
You're out.
That's 2 failures and 3 threats.
Down he goes. He passes out. He succumbs to his wounds as he passes out.
Damn.
Should we let our medic go?
He's unconscious.
Our medic?
No, he
Oh.
is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Should we let our medic go to deal
Well,
with that?
Bob's got 3 guys in front.
Yeah, I
He
want to take
needs
these
to
guys
go.
out.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Triumphs, Bob. Triumphs.
Yes, I agree.
Make those 3 people into 6 halves.
And
7.5
what am I
halves.
swinging on? Just 2?
Just 2.
Purple?
2 purple.
All right.
Destiny point?
Yeah, do we need? Yeah, destiny point?
If you got it, spend it.
Yeah. I'm going to spend a destiny point.
Okay.
All right. And I will take that.
Hey, triumphs? Triumphs?
No triumphs, but I got
How did
4.
that dice end up on top of another
I
dice?
don't freaking know. That's
Keep
what's
going.
amazing.
You should count that as a high ground.
Totally
It does have the high ground.
in all seriousness, it just landed like that. So 4 hits, 1 advantage. 4 hits, 1 advantage. That is amazing.
That is amazing. 4 hits. So Saber is 6'10". All right. So while the guy that stabbed you, you take out both of his buddies. So they're gone. So the only guy, the only guy left is the guy with the saber.
Okay.
So you take both of those guys out.
Okay.
So the thinning has happened. All right.
Can I use that one advantage for a strength?
Absolutely.
Thank
Yes. Yes, you can. Keep
All
going.
right. Who's next?
Trevor, you're up.
I've just got the 2 guys left that can be on you.
Yeah, the one on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it landed.
That's really frustrating.
All right. So the guy that's I'm gonna use that for you.
I've never seen that before.
That guy has no.
You got the
moves.
high ground bonus. You're lucky 'cause that was the
Yeah,
one.
so the guy at the bottom, he attacks you, you parry it without a problem. As you parry it, you realize that his fighting style is just not. He needs to get on your level. He just needs to.
Did I get a?
Yeah, he's just no. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, you did.
Oh,
yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have swung.
He shouldn't have swung. Yeah, he's.
Counter strike?
Yeah.
Parry.
He done
Yeah.
goofed.
He done goofed.
That's a paddle.
How many?
Nice.
He had
Just 2.
Wow, nice. Hit him.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, don't forget
Yeah.
that.
2 successes, 3 successes and a triumph.
Okay, so he goes after you, like easily sidestep him, and the first saber you send down, you poke his leg, and the other one you put in his back, and you just kind of like set him down. All right. While that's happening, the guy above gets a shot. I'm gonna give him a setback after watching what's going on.
Get turned into a human kebab.
Right, and then you also get that for this.
Sith kebab.
Sith kebab.
Sith kebab, nice.
Yeah, no, you sidestep the damage as well.
Nice.
All right, so who's that?
We've got a slot.
Who has not gone this round?
I have not gone this round.
You two need
There
to
should
go
be
first.
3 people that have gone this round.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Who's going? Pick it up.
You go first.
Is there any way I can lie down to reach him? Because I can't move.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
That's not a problem. I'll give it to you. He's
I
right
don't know
next
what you're
to you.
complaining about. I don't think that's that bad.
Oh!
Nice. Also, I have a dice on top of a dice again.
Okay.
Did you really? You did that too?
Alright.
I put one back down and it ended up on top of it. I didn't set it on top of it.
Downgrading difficulty.
Okay.
And then
I really want to
I need more dice.
So here's the thing. It's
I
not
didn't say
going to
this.
cancel out the fact that he lost his arm, but it can cancel out the fact that he passed out. He's already lost the arm. That happened a long time ago.
So does he
Can we
get
put it on ice?
It doesn't
By the way,
say that.
if you boost your move up enough, remember you can manipulate fine
I
items,
think
so you
it's
don't
in a
need the
reaction.
arm.
Nope.
Huh?
It's not a reaction.
I'm ruling that's how it's gonna work
Oh,
because
so I get it for free.
No, what
No,
I'm
no.
saying is he lost his arm a long time ago.
Okay.
So that ability
So
is
I can't use it.
you can't use it right this second for that. Now if
But I can heal.
you can heal him. Yeah.
Since it's critical wounds, I get an extra.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright.
And then
So I put his arm on ice.
and I believe.
No, man, he's gonna get his bionic arm.
Okay.
Like Ultra Carbon.
Yeah.
Taking him
I
briefly.
still need to see that.
That show is incredible. Thank you for telling me.
What you got?
Those cancel. That is
Wow.
4 successes and an advantage. All right. You come back too. He
and you gain an ability.
right.
And
So as you're working
I heal
on it-
myself.
So the colto from the stem, it closes his wound and stops the bleeding. You come too.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're, what's that? So you're back up.
Do I heal at all?
Yes.
7 movement
Yeah.
points?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just lying on the ground now.
Yeah, you're lying next to him.
This is all I can do.
Right.
Thanks,
All right.
buddy.
Who's up?
You are.
Yep. Gotcha,
I
Commander.
thought
I
it
think
was.
it's the guy in
I
front
think
of
it might have been the guys that I killed.
The
but
guy
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sure.
I'm out. I'm out of guys.
It's the guy
So
that wasn't
knock that
Bob
one
and
off,
Big
and then
Boss.
Bantha and I
And
can
then
go.
there's-
Big is gone.
There's
I've
the guy-
only
there's
got
the guy on
3
the,
guys
there's
left.
the guy on the wall.
He's
Oh,
already
he's
gone.
fine.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Kyle, you're up.
Yes.
So top
Kyle.
of
Can I? All right.
Kill that guy in front of me.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna basically like.
Turn and fire.
Yes.
So I've got to pick up my gun.
That's
so,
fine.
So I'm
That's
gonna
your
take,
maneuver.
I'm gonna
Yes.
take a sitting stance
Okay.
back against the wall, so I've got nice and braced.
Okay.
Kill that guy.
And I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Okay.
A lot.
Go for it.
Yes.
I'll give you a boost.
Boost.
Huh?
Boost.
Guys, give me all your grenades. I got an
He's
idea.
behind him.
I'm gonna go
What's,
hug the Sith
what's the
Lord.
difficulty?
2 and 1.
2 and 1.
Kill that guy right up there.
Can I
Do what?
aim as well?
Unless somebody kills him first.
You're up. You're up next.
Yeah, but he has two runs because
One,
playing at 3,
two
too.
hits.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Three
5.
goes.
3 should go on him.
3 hits and 5 advantage, so that crits.
He's
Yes.
dead.
Roll your crit, maybe.
Maybe.
Please.
Then you add 20.
Where's the other crit? Where's the other
Here.
crit?
Yeah.
Crit.
Oh, 41.
Is that
Plus-
What's your
plus 20?
lethality?
What's that?
Plus
Oh, that's with
20.
it. That's with it.
Oh, wow.
That's with it.
Oh, 41
Yeah,
with it.
Yeah, 21 plus 20.
All right, so you shoot him in the back. How much damage is it?
It's 9 damage plus.
No, plus what he rolled.
Yeah, plus what I rolled.
Which is what,
Yeah,
4?
yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
You got it.
Good.
All right, so you bowled him over. So you take the shot. He's like, ah, and he kind of falls forward as the blast goes through his chest. Good thing he kneeled because the angle of the blast goes up,
Yeah.
and it's like, whoa.
That is exactly what I
Right,
had in
I
mind.
totally meant that to happen. Right. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So who's up next?
Top of the round.
Top of the round.
No.
Whoa.
Bree.
Bree is on deck.
Yeah.
Breeze on deck. You're right. Good call.
Still.
Good call. Let me flip a destiny point.
Yes.
How many do we have? What's that at 0 now?
Wait, are you
No.
flipping a dark side?
No,
I'm
no,
flipping,
good
it's one of
point
y'all's
for
points.
Bree.
Okay.
So that puts us at 0.
If y'all are okay with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, kill her.
And she does have her
Okay, good. 3
boost
is
for
right
me.
there. That's
If
right.
you don't have that down.
Okay.
From-
I'll roll. I'll roll a boost. Hang on a second.
That extra stat point, right?
Extra
Not
stat.
boost, extra stat point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the extra.
Oh.
I'm
Okay.
making sure you know she's got the green.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
green.
Or yellow, whatever it turns into.
Okay. I need my percentile back.
Yes.
Yo.
No, it's both of them.
He's got one back there, I think.
No.
Oh, so I got it.
Sorry.
Fine. Yeah, that's 153. She's done.
Yes.
Yeah, she's toast. Basically, she comes across with a saber and she cuts it on her chest, and as she starts to lean over, she completes the spin with the second round and decapitates her.
Yes.
Nice.
What's 153
this guy
on
shits
the
his pants.
crit?
Dead,
score?
complete,
Yeah.
obliterated, death.
Yes.
I think it's like
Neat.
115 above is just dead.
Neat.
That's what it says. Dead.
Yeah, yeah, obliterated. is what it says.
Oh,
All right,
that's what we call
Guess
it.
I'll know.
into the round.
Bantha.
No, Bantha's still up.
Bantha.
I'm gonna
Kill
go.
that guy.
Yeah, I'm
Shoot
gonna
the
go.
last guy.
I'm gonna go for the guy on the roof, the fiddler on the roof.
Okay, go for it.
With a jetpack, are you flying up?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly up there when I have to.
All right.
Total slate 2
Planetary.
points.
What is that? 2 yellow for me.
I don't know what you're piloting.
I have 2, that's agility, and I have 3 agility.
Good. So 2 in the green.
That's what I thought.
And then 2.
2.
Go for it.
Alright.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, so you
Oh
fly
my
up
gosh.
there. That's your maneuver. Now make your shotgun shot. I will also give you a boost die since you will have the high ground as you're
Yes.
coming down. Because in Star Wars that means everything.
And then 2.
Correct. He does give you a setback for his armor. There you go.
Yes! Double triumph. And the hit.
Hold on.
Wait,
I got
it's
it
still
out.
a triumph.
Mark
Okay.
it out.
It's still a triumph. It's a triumph.
Is that?
Yeah.
Push.
Sorry, man.
No.
2 triumphs.
Sorry.
So
man.
what's left over?
That guy.
Bunch of
Double
blanks.
advantage?
It was a straight push.
No, it's straight push.
Straight
No.
push.
Two advantage?
Two
No.
advantage?
No. No.
No? Okay.
No,
We only
the
have to
advantage
roll
got
one.
canceled out.
Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
can't wait till we only have to roll 1 die.
I don't know. I like this system.
All right.
I like it.
All right. So you drop down. You take the shot. He kind
It's
of.
been tough on Lance.
Yeah, he's like.
It's very tough on Lance.
All right.
I was
Who's
kidding.
up? Who's up?
You are. This is top of
It's
the
important to
round.
put
Or
enough points
Bantha,
in your
you
roll.
win. So yeah, top of the round,
ranks,
you're up.
so that you can do it. Like your leadership.
Yeah.
Instead of just 1 rank, you gotta
Time
have
to,
2 or 3.
Cut his head off.
When you get 2 or
I've
3.
got 2 ranks in leadership and 3 ranks in presence. So
I
Yeah.
really hope my rotary
just that
cannon's
the-
still
yeah.
at my
Your
sides.
rolls were rough.
All right. I'm gonna make my piloting check and leave with my jetpack. So he's flying off. I'll give you a shot as he's getting
Yeah.
away.
Can it be an aimed shot?
Yeah. I'll let you aim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit that jetpack.
Hold on.
Let's see if the
Hold on.
sniper can get him before he gets away. He's the last one,
There's
so
my
he's gonna try
shot.
to.
There's my
Shooting
scope.
time.
There's my aim.
This
There's
is my rifle.
aim.
This is my gun.
What's the
Daunting.
It's hard
Okay.
and a setback.
Okay.
Cool. Do we have a force point to use?
No, but I'll
No.
sense danger and move that setback.
Oh, finally! Finally!
Very nice.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Don't get excited
no
yet.
celebrating.
Remember
Alright.
Lance
last
has already
time someone
figured it
wrote
out, he's
two
quick.
triumphs.
Hold on.
Literally
Those
right
cancel.
before.
1, 2, 3. That's there. That cancels. All right. Those cancel. A triumph and an advantage.
Hey, that counts.
A triumph and an advantage.
Does he fall
Crit.
in front of me and I can
Roll
finish him
crit.
off?
You have percentile that.
I don't.
97.
In mind.
97. 117.
Dead. Dead.
Headshot.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Oh wow.
Last shot's gotta be a
This
headshot.
As the helmet comes off, it was a female Mandalorian.
Yes. Oh, man.
What a way to finish
Because
it.
Kyle only shoots women. No offense to anyone out there. It's just it's kind of
What
been
a way to
terrible,
finish.
terrible
It's a
joke.
running joke.
I'm kidding.
It's-
It's not a female. It's just
It's
a
a
joke.
horrible,
It's a horrible
running
joke.
joke.
I apologize. It was just too funny. Okay. All right. Who's up? That's it.
Yeah,
End of
that's
battle.
it. That's
Okay.
it.
So you guys.
Is mom below the...
Yes, she finishes off the rest, as well as the gunboat. She comes in to help. Typhus comes in with the Hawk and picks you guys up for extraction as y'all get away and y'all...
Take his arm with us.
I made a point of going over the rock and grabbing my brother's arm.
Okay.
I make a point of going and grabbing that lightsaber.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking it,
I
grab
got
No,
that.
you, you're walking over, but Bree's already got it.
I was
Okay,
wondering,
no, in that case, I'll grab that one by
It's,
me.
it's okay. We're leaving.
But I'm-
Everyone's
yeah.
extracting.
We're gone.
You're up. We're
I'm
gone.
going with Bree.
Okay. You guys leave.
She's the chosen one.
We come back. As you guys deboard from the mission, we all got the schematics to the Dreadnought. We can send that off to the new base that they're building, and that is going to be the end of the campaign. Now I do have part of an epilogue to share.
Yes.
Alright.
So the epilogue. Okay. The first part of the epilogue will make y'all angry. Huh?
Typhus. Was
No,
good.
if you remember, Bob, you've already met Typhus. He was in the very first campaign that you played,
Yes,
one-on-one.
I remember him.
Yes, and
Okay.
he was a friend.
Yes. He
But
was
that's
great.
when he was
tough.
older. Yeah,
Exactly.
so no, Typhus is fine. But y'all get back, BT is gone with the Talani
Shocker.
shuttle and the Sith holocron.
I
So,
hate Destroyed so much.
huh?
You didn't
I
get a
hate
chance to kill him.
Destroyed so much.
So there's been an Easter egg in the game that you guys have missed from the beginning. Is that he
got it.
keeps calling you meatbag.
He's
Oh, no, I
Oh no, I caught that.
I knew
Forlong.
exactly what you were talking about.
It's part of Forlong's
It-
crew.
As soon as you
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
meatbag, I knew.
So in the second campaign we played, or actually first and second, Forlom was this recurring villain that we had. So he also BT is from the comics. He's an assassin droid that runs around with another protocol droid who's also an assassin droid named 000. So it was a character I wanted to bring in and have fun toying with you guys. So there's that part of the story. The other part of the story is that this is a prequel, and in the very first game that we played for a couple months, where me and Bob just played a one-on-one game, he was the one that originally met this Riley, like Force savant on this crashed planet, and found out that she
12-year-old
was
girl.
the granddaughter, basically, of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This whole story has been about the parents of Bree, and the parents are in about 15, 16 years. Brianna is going to give birth to Riley, and the father, and the reason that your mission was so important, is Dak. Dak is the father, and that's why your whole mission was he has to live.
It takes you
Well,
15
right.
years to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a long courting process. So that is the
She's got a
story.
lightsaber. You got to be careful.
right.
She
Right.
knows how to use
Right.
it.
So this whole thing is like I created a prequel, but the goal of this, in my mind, for a prequel to work, is I think that people have to really not even know that it is a prequel,
Yeah.
because then you know certain things are coming. So I
Yeah.
had to hide things in plain
That's very
sight.
cool.
The
Best
Hawk.
wingman ever.
The Hawk 290. This is the same Hawk
Right.
290 that he saw that was on the planet when he first met Riley. This was the
Yeah.
same ship.
Yeah.
Also, a big one, if you remember, She was raised on that planet by a protocol droid,
CZ.
CZ, which is
Your
your
droid.
Yes.
I remember. I see. Yeah.
So
I
the
remember.
droid, that was, so when you brought it back,
Yeah.
all of these things were piecing together to
That's very
tie
cool.
all three of the campaigns
Very
together.
What happened to them?
Huh? What happened to what?
Bree and this guy.
So we do find out later that Bree dies crash landing on the planet, and Riley buried her on that planet,
Yes.
and the father had already been killed by the Knights of Ren.
Yes.
What?
So that was where that story
Went out
come.
shooting.
Huh?
Went out shooting.
Went down shooting. So that's where that story went. That is going to be the end of our Star Wars game. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yay.
Well done. Well done.
And then next week we'll be starting our new D&D game.
Mm-hmm.
Tall tales and short stories. I'm excited about that. All the characters are short stature.
Yes.
We have 3 halflings, 2 dwarves, and a gnome.
Yep.
So they're not running from me. They're not going to outrun anything. It should be a fun time. So
Yeah.
that's it, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
That'll end all that. Stop here.